What up? Let's get weird. It's your boy Tommy G here with a special edition roundtable show. I am here with the absolute fucking assassins, D-Rock, Zab, and the master, Scarface. Scarface, what up, motherfucker?
What's up? How was your holiday, dude?
It was good. Let me, you guys stall for a second. Let me send this out. So, holiday was good. Ate way too much. Fucking felt like killing myself. Lost to my 11-year-old nephew in Jenga. And pretty much took an hour and 52 minutes to get 27 miles on the way there because there was an accident. So,
oh, that's like my daily drive.
Yeah. For me, that's like my yearly drive. I drive that much in a year.
You live in LA, that's normal.
Yeah, exactly. LA is
why would you ever live there?
Is it homeless crazy?
Not for everybody.
There? Is it absolutely fucking nuts with the homeless people there? Jerry?
What's that? Homeless people? I mean, not where I live, but I mean, downtown.
Obviously, where you live, they'd have to get through three gated communities,
downtown
guards up a mountain to a castle.
Yeah, no, but downtown LA, by the beach.
That's actually Jerry's real living room behind him. That's not a vacuum.
Yeah. How long does it take you to vacuum those stairs?
Maze do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't do it.
So what were you saying, Jerry?
I'm just saying the homeless. Downtown LA, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. So what's up, Zab? Haven't talked to you in like an hour.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time.
I mean, it's supposed to be a week off for everyone. It's my fourth show in 3 days. What the fuck?
I was gonna say we've been hammering them this week. It's been good though. I like getting the NFL knowledge out there and all the sports. So
all right, everyone's saying I need to raise my mic.
Ooh, there you go.
Is that too loud?
Maybe back off just a hair.
Yeah, you're up there.
How about that?
You sound good.
I think it sounds fine, but there's people in the chat. As I re-listened to the show, and it sounded fine. People in the chat, there were a bunch of people saying it was too low.
My daughter was very excited that she was on YouTube, though, yesterday.
Is that good, guys? Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Oh, what's up?
My daughter was very excited. She did a run-through yesterday.
You did a cameo?
A little cameo to get a water bottle out of the back.
Why didn't you have her come on?
Oh, she's my crazy one. She might have started.
Yeah, well, that's the one. Dude, bring her on. Have her say hi.
Dude, she could have showed the clip to everybody at her school.
That's what I'm saying. Have her come on and say what's up, and then she can she'll be like famous.
We'll do the whole run through one day. How about that?
Can you imagine her playing a clip at school of Tommy and Bill going at it, calling each other?
That's what I'm saying. She could show the little thing in the corner, showing like a couple thousand people watching. She'd be like, oh, she's famous.
Yep.
I mean, with D-Rock, your daughter's
after that because.
Yeah, no, that's it. Don't watch anything after that. I skull fuck this fucking bitch and whore. Break this slate with my dick. The D-Rock, speaking of famous daughters, your daughter's famous. 4Deep got her fucking the champion. Did she break the record of all time most popcorn sold?
I think we're getting audited. So she only raised like $250 in this popcorn shit. That everybody has been messaging me saying it's been amazing.
Yeah.
And
keep talking for a minute. Let me send this.
I send it. You send the link out into the Discord, and she goes from $200 to like $1,400 raised in a matter of like 10 minutes. I mean, first place.
For those who don't know, D-Rock's daughter was in a competition. What was it? Cheer thing?
Yeah, for cheer.
Raise money for the cheerleading team or whatever. And he was like, yo, you mind if I put it in the chat, if anyone wants to buy some popcorn? Because she was in like 5th place and had like, a couple $100 or something, at that point. I was like, I got you. So I put out an ad for everyone. Dude, the 4Deep family just went ham. She like, didn't you say they told you, like, how did $1,000 come in like 10 hours?
Yeah, the coach actually messaged my wife like 10 minutes after and was like, holy cow, what did Rania do? I'm like, just tell her dad's got good friends.
That's it. Yeah, they think you got a money laundering scam going on over there. So why don't we do this? I'm going to send this tweet. I'll explain basically on this show, guys. Let me break down the show in a second. Let's first start. Jerry, tell us what happened to you last weekend or the other day with the where you're about to win like every single thing on the slate.
I was really tilted on Thanksgiving, and not from pumpkin pie and mashed potatoes, but I was the Thanksgiving slate on DraftKings. I was just nuking every fucking contest I was in. Up about $300K, had a live final ticket. Last drive, the Packers had it. They throw the ball out to Christian Watson. Clear PI. The flag was never thrown. Miami gets the ball back with less than a minute to go, and they start dinking and dunking. Jonnu bonuses. Tua bonuses.
Dude, Jonnu fucking went batshit
Tyreek
against the
gets
prevent.
there. And I went from 300K to 50K in like a matter of 3 plays.
Oh my God.
On fucking useless plays. It was super tilting.
That had to be horrible. Yeah, and I watched that because I actually had Jonnu in FFWC. We had bets on Jonnu. I had Jonnu everywhere. So I'm watching it, not even thinking about the DFS aspect of it. I'm just sitting there, wow, this is great. He got like fucking 18 free points in the last fucking 3 minutes.
I was in first place in literally every contest.
Oh my God, I would have been killing myself.
Just like
every
that,
play was a 4-yard fucking slant to Jonnu.
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls. So for those of you new, basically what we do here is the roundtable show. We're going to be breaking down the whole slate of NFL from a DFS perspective, primarily initially, and you'll be able to obviously get bets off this, player props, etc. We're going to talk about the betting side and the DFS side. I'll be sweating the college football games. You're going to see me get up in a few minutes. I'll have to re-rotate the channels at 3:30. I'll give you guys a college football bet or two once everyone files in, and we're going to break this whole fucking thing down. You have absolute assassins here from the DFS perspective, so there's no way you're going to watch this and not get something out of it. Jerry, why don't you start us off with a high-level overview of the DFS slate, and then we'll go game by game after that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's going to be a lot of options to go to this week. There's a lot of quarterbacks you can go to. There's a lot of good game environments. There's some value plays that are opening up. Guys you can go to for some value. Different ways to kind of build your stacks out. Throw in some nice projected plays. I mean, there's a lot of ways to get different on the slate. We'll get to them when we go game by game right here.
Okay. All right. Cool. So.
You cut off?
Hold on. Yeah. All right. You there?
Yeah. You want me to pop up with some injuries real quick?
Yeah. Why don't we do that? Let's run through the injury breakdown. I actually turned on the YouTube and I thought I just shut down the whole stream. So go through it, Zeb.
Tyler Higbee is out. Jamal Williams questionable for the Saints. Trevor Lawrence is questionable. Austin Eckler is out. Devontae Smith questionable. Alec Pierce questionable. Demario Douglas is questionable. Josh Downs is out, but you are getting some people back. You're getting Tank Bigsby. He was off the injury report. DK Metcalf, Brian Robinson, Noah Brown, Will Dissly, Breece Hall, and Tajay Spears are all good to go for this weekend. So some of their teams are going to get some players back, which will definitely help.
J.K. Dobbins officially out, right?
Dobbins is out.
Dobbins is out.
All right. So basically, this is a pretty clean week, though, considering, right? Like, if you go through even just looking at the DraftKings board here, you're pretty much looking at the first player that's out is $6,800, right? Yeah. So most of the top 20, 30 most expensive guys are in, which is pretty rare on a slate like this. All year we've been dealing with fucking injury nonsense all over the place. So we'll hunt for some value. We'll find you guys some cheap plays, and then we'll give you guys some props to look at. Let's start off Chargers at Falcons. This line from a betting perspective looks fucked. Let me just pull up my spreadsheet here. Any of you guys, Jerry, you're out there in LA. Any of you guys have any idea why this line's 1? I mean, it's making me want to bet the Falcons because you're looking at 70% of the money's on the Chargers. The line's 1. This is obviously a cross-country trip. I actually don't believe in the Chargers like everyone else does, but I'm probably going to be hitting the Falcons in this game, Jerry.
Well, they're on a short week, right? They played on Monday night.
Coming off a bye for Atlanta, right?
Falcons are coming off of a bye, so they're a lot more rested. We've got J.K. Dobbins out. The home game for the Falcons. I mean, I don't know why the Chargers are favored by 1.
All right, so you're on the other side. All right, so good. I feel even better about the Falcons now. So let's break this down from DFS perspective. Jerry, start us off.
Yeah, so we talked about J.K. Dobbins being out. Herbert in the passing game, they're projecting really well here. I mean, it's a good game environment. You're going to see like Herbert, McConkey, Dissly, maybe even a little bit of Gus Edwards at 4,300. They're going to be one of the higher owned stacks on the slate. Edwards, he's not a guy that's going to be involved in the passing game. He's slow. He's not explosive. When you're playing Edwards, you're just kind of hoping that he gets a handful of yards and maybe, falls into the end zone once or twice, pays off that 4,300 tag. So that's what you're kind of getting. You're not going to get a huge volume with him either. So just know what you're getting in for when you play like Gus Edwards. Herbert, McConkey. I mean, we saw Quentin Johnson drop how many balls the other night. I mean, you can maybe kind of go back to him. But like Herbert, McConkey, Dissly, like that's kind of the stack you want to go with when playing the Chargers. And for how good this game environment is, it doesn't look like anybody on the Falcons side is getting like much ownership in the passing game. Drake London gets ownership every game. You can go to guys like Mooney, or maybe even like Kyle Pitts. Like they're probably going to be involved. But from the Falcons, my favorite play is definitely Bijan Robinson. I think he's in a good spot. Chargers, they just got tore up by Derrick Henry the other night. I forgot how many yards he put up on them. But yeah, if you want to use the passing game, Cousins probably going to go unowned if you want to run some stacks with him or something.
All right, Zab, what are you looking at?
I'll start on the Falcon side. Chargers run a lot of cover 2. In those scenarios, Mooney and London are the beneficiaries. They're going to see a lot of first read targets. I do not like Pitts this weekend in this matchup. I think he does not run good against cover 2 schemes. He sees a significant drop in his yards per route run. So on the Falcon side, Mooney and London, I think both of them have a chance to go off. It's going to be probably back and forth between them. I think both of them will hit their prop. I think Bijan set up well also. But on the other side of the ball, this is something I'll ask you, Tommy. Where did Ladd McConkey play?
Hold on 1 second. Oh, you fucking
Georgia.
All right, sorry. What'd you say?
Georgia. Where'd Ladd McConkey play?
Georgia.
Where's Ladd McConkey from?
Georgia.
I think it's a Ladd McConkey day. I think Ladd's going to go. I think it's Ladd's going to go off.
I'm in every seasonal league.
I think he sets up well on a matchup perspective. Also, he's going to have a ton of family and friends there at the game. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I love Ladd this week.
I like this too, obviously, without Dobbins there. I mean, I know Gus Edwards. It's kind of – I think you look at the Chargers offense very similar to, what the Ravens offense was, where they can kind of plug and play anyone when they have that, like, offensive scheme line and the way they're running. So I don't think they're going to have a huge downgrade at running back just because they have Gus Edwards there. But it's got to help a little bit, right, for them to be passing the ball a little bit more. Not to mention they're on the road in Atlanta. Good weather conditions.
Yeah, you can see a lot of, like, short passes, moving the chain kind of thing.
Like no weather concerns in the dome. Yeah, so a lot of things going for Ladd here. I love him. I'm going to be all over his props. I have him in every seasonal league. I think he's a good DFS play, too. How's his price over there on DraftKings?
He's at 6,100. Projected to be anywhere from he's going to be anywhere from 18 to 22%.
That's insane. He was 63 3 weeks ago, wasn't he? Hold on.
Yeah, he hasn't moved.
You really think he's going to get that high, though, with all the wide receivers that are in good spots here?
You need a value play, though.
Yeah, it's 6. So I'm looking at it here. Yeah, 62. He was 5,900 week 10, 6,200 week 11, and he went 6 for 123. Then last week he went up $100, and he was 6 for 83. And now he went down $100 in a better matchup, in a better spot. Yeah, he's got to be. Every algorithm's got to be popping him off for sure.
Yeah, he's going to get ownership for sure.
Yeah.
He's not going overlooked.
D-Rock, what do you like in this game?
Okay,
I know we're watching a Michigan game here.
Yeah, we all are.
So if you guys are wondering what we're looking at, we're sitting here watching a Michigan game. Right now, Michigan's up 13-10, 31 seconds left, 3rd and 9 for the Ohio State University, which is the most overrated garbage fucking shit team in the entire world. I've been saying it all year. I'm praying that Michigan wins this game. I hate Ohio State. I hate Michigan. But this team sucks. And I'm so sick of people talking about Ohio State. They're a bad football team. Will Howard is a bad quarterback. You guys know I love Kansas State. I was praying fucking Will Howard would get the fuck off that team last year. So I think a lot of people just didn't watch enough K-State football last year if they thought Will Howard was going to win anything. So Portnoy is probably about 31 seconds away from breaking the internet. So you might want to check Stool President.
I'm about 31 seconds away from taking my fucking shirt off.
D-Rock's a big Michigan fan.
We're going to get a ton of ratings tonight.
Let me give you this, too, before we go out to finish off this game. So I have a couple bets that I'll give you guys, those of you that tuned in. USC coming up. Jerry's boys out there. USC plus 7.5 and money line. Auburn plus 10.5 and money line. Arizona plus 8.5 and money line. Syracuse plus 11.5 and money line. I said there was going to be 3 top 10 teams get knocked out this weekend. We almost lost Georgia last night. 8 overtimes. Craziest game I've seen in a fucking long-ass time. It was unbelievable. So almost got one of them last night. Looks like we might get one of them right now with Ohio State. And this is rivalry week, guys. If you're betting favorites this week, you're out of your fucking face. You need to be taking points and taking dogs, and that's what we're doing over here at 4Deep. If you want a basketball player, I also really like Rutgers, plus 4.5. Like I've said before, I think their national championship contending team almost beat Alabama the other day as a 12.5-point dog. Getting 4.5 today, I think they win that game outright. All those games are at 3:30. Let's see what goes on. This is the huge play, 4th and 9. Howard drops back. Nope.
No. No.
Michigan wins.
Oh, that's fucking crazy, man. Plus
You
1,000.
fucking losers, Ohio State. You fucking absolute Big Ten fucking fraud ass fucking losers. I don't know why.
Trying to get my daughter to say thank you, but she won't. She's too embarrassed.
I mean, you might want to turn the mic down as I'm screaming curses.
I was gonna say.
You heard her mouth?
All right, good. Oh,
You gonna tell her?
she'll probably disappear in the thing. She said thank you. Tell her we loved her video.
Yeah.
Tell her we loved her video. The video was awesome. Everyone loved it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There she is. She came in through the wall. That was
I was
awesome.
gonna say.
D-Rock, you disappear when you turn backwards, by the way. I just want to let you know that. I know you don't see it.
Well,
Yeah,
I
you
think
stay-
he's probably
you
going to
stay
disappear
forward.
too if Michigan wins this game.
It's
I think
over.
he's watching the game.
No,
It's over.
I still got 20 seconds on my TV.
Yeah, but they have the ball. Didn't Ohio State just turn the ball over?
Oh.
Yeah, this shit's over.
Game's
How many
done.
beers has he had?
It's done. D-Rock's drunk already.
What? Wife made me like start making Bloody Marys and shit this morning. So
Attaboy. Got at it early. All right, let's finish off that game. D-Rock, you like anything in this Chargers-Atlanta game?
I'm this basically the same as everybody else. I love Ladd McConkey this game. I mean, Justin Herbert's hard to not like at that price tag. I mean, all he's going to do is fucking sling the shit out of the ball. Bijan on the other
5,600.
side. I don't hate going Drake London either, but I think he's going to get some ownership with it.
Do you think you go, Jerry, do you think this is the Herbert, Ladd, Bijan kind of game stack type game?
I mean, if you're gonna run it, if you're gonna run a
If you're going to run a
Chargers
Herbert, yeah, if
you-
you're going to charge it, so you bring it back with Bijan.
you can bring it back with Bijan.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, he's
Yeah,
my
it's-
preferred play on the Falcons.
There is somebody in this game that nobody's going to fucking play.
Quentin Johnson.
Quentin Johnson.
Yep.
That's what I just mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you know Herbert's going to be slinging it, and nobody's going to play him because you can't fucking catch.
Well, no, he can catch. He was literally rigging that fucking prop. Like, dude, everyone I saw everywhere had Quentin Johnson.
Every ball hit him in the
all
hand.
over the place. Every ball right off his hand. Looked like he was knocking them down.
Yep.
Like, they wasn't trying to catch him. He was knocking them down as they came to him.
They're going to go right back to him. I
State.
mean,
He's going to go right back to him. He's
they're
going
going
to
to go right back to him.
You
He's
can
a leader.
basically
They're not able to run the ball.
guarantee
If they're
I'll
not
bet-
running the ball, they're going to get everybody involved in the passing game.
everyone. Quentin Johnson is catching a 40-yard touchdown in this game. 100%. It's happening. It's happening. It's definitely happening. And he's down there. And his price went up, Jerry. So he was 4,900 at zero, and his price just went up. Ladd McConkey on the same team in the same matchup, actually a better matchup, had an amazing game, and his price went down. So figure that out.
I can't
But,
imagine he's any more than like he's going to be less than 5%.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice little sneaky Millie Maker play there. Let's move on to Pitt, Cincinnati. Your neck of the woods over there, Zab. Pittsburgh. I'm going to change the channels and get my 3:30 games on that we're going to be betting on. So this coach in Michigan is the fucking worst. He just saved his job right there. Zab, hit it.
You got Pitt 2.5 at the Bengals, over under 46.5. The line might have moved a little bit. That's from I wrote them down on Tuesday. There's a lot of matchups in this game to like. There's a lot of both of the secondaries. Cincinnati secondary is terrible, but other than Joey Porter Jr., this secondary of the Steelers isn't that great. It's beatable. You're going to see Joey Porter Jr. just switching between Chase and T. Higgins. So both of those guys are going to have a ton of opportunities to go off in this matchup. Burrow has been playing unbelievable. I like if you want to do a fun little game stack.
Hold on. Is there a fight on the field?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just changed it. Fuck.
Oh, they're like going down.
Big fight.
Fuck.
Like
Put it back.
everybody's fighting.
Oh, yeah. It's a full-on brawl.
There's a brawl if you guys turn on Fox in the Michigan game after the game.
Good news is Hulu's like a minute behind, so I still
Yeah, you're
haven't
gonna all
seen
see.
the
You're
fight.
gonna see it.
Hey,
Yeah,
guess
calm
what? You
down.
can't spell cocksucker without OSU.
That's true. That is true.
Oh, there
I
goes
love the
shot.
Michigan OSU rivalry. They fucking hate each other, and we hate
Oh, I
all
love
of
it.
them.
Oh,
Like, all
absolutely
the rest,
fucking
all the
hate
rest of us hate all of you. We hate all of you Big Ten fans. But the fact when you guys go at each other, it's a nice break for the rest of us because we just get to watch and enjoy whoever won.
When I seen Bill put out that Ohio State,
Wow,
stuff this
Clemson
spring, I was
lost.
Like,
Clemson goes down.
Oh,
That was one of my I should have said CFP teams. I said top 10 teams. They're 12.
Oh, yeah.
But already this morning, guys, we have Clemson down, Ohio State down, Georgia almost went down last night. I need 3 of them to go down. We're going to get 2 at 3:30. We're guaranteeing 2 of these at 3:30. 2 of these 4 teams
This is gonna be a fun day today.
are going down. They're going down. Anyone who bet favorites today, you don't know college football. Do not bet favorites on fucking rivalry week. Go on, whoever was just talking. This is what I have to do to change channels. I got 3 fucking remotes. I got to sit here and play fucking Pong with the television. So go, guys.
George Pickens on the other side is also in a great matchup. He'll be going up against Cam Taylor-Britt. He's very beatable. He's probably one of the worst coverage corners in the NFL. So yeah, I like a little fun game stack of go Burrow, Chase Higgins, then bring it back with Pickens, and then just pay down everywhere else. So, yep. What do you got, Scarface?
Yeah, I'm with you on the Bengals passing game. The problem with going Burrow, Chase Higgins is it gets really, really expensive. They got to have those stealing type games for that stack to pay off. You're going to see Higgins probably one of the higher owned receivers on the slate just because of the way he's priced, and I don't think Chase is going to get that much ownership. Like he might fall into he'll be under 10% for sure.
Who's Mike? Who's playing with the mic? Is that you, D-Rock?
No, it's me. Mine dropped off. So.
Oh, well, all right. No, I heard like a rattling. Okay, go on.
Yeah, Chase is going to be under 10%. I mean, maybe
your mic fell off.
Did it fall?
Is that what you're saying?
It dropped down. Yeah.
You can't pull it out.
Nah, like this thing dropped. The mic.
Oh, just tighten it.
I did. I gotta grab. Fix it.
All right. Well, feel free. Go get it now. You already did the Pittsburgh. Feel free. All right. Go on.
Yeah. So outside of probably T. Higgins and Chase Brown, almost every other play in this game is going to be low owned. Chase Brown is probably going to be the highest.
You think Pickens going to be low owned?
Yeah. I mean, he'll be under 10%.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you're looking at Chase Brown probably being the highest owned player on the slate just because of the way he's priced. I mean, for some reason, DraftKings lowered his price. And I mean, with the kind of volume that he's seeing, I mean, he's very, very underpriced. So you're going to see him in a lot of lineups. He's popping in almost everything you're running. So him and Higgins are the ones that are coming in with the ownership. Everybody else in this game is going to be low owned contrarian.
All right. That's shocking to me. I thought Pickens was going to be high owned. I love Pickens all over the fucking board in this one. Obviously, you guys know I'm basically a Bengals fan. When your main team's the Jets, you have to have a fucking second team.
It's just that the guys that are priced around him are the ones that are getting ownership. So
yeah, I love this spot. I mean, it's 6,800 over there on DraftKings for him. I know you got Mike Evans and all the other guys, Adams, Wilson, Higgins, all that London around him. But if you're telling me he's going to be low owned, that's kind of a slate breaker there. Then the back end of the Cincinnati passing D is fucking horrific. They can't stop anyone. I think this game shoots a little more than people think. This total's 47.5. I think it gets over. As far as the prop perspective on this, I actually prefer betting Pickens' longest reception rather than betting his yards. I told you guys at the beginning of the year, I said this on Stay Cash the other day, that Pickens is going to be an 80 and a half yard receiver. He was like 44 to start the season when he had fucking shitty fields in there. And I said, you're going to see his prop get up to 80s, up to 73 and a half on a lot of these sites. So that is a haul. That's a big number to get to. But Pickens does not get there without long catches. So Pickens over 26 and a half longest reception, he can go 3 for 40, and he's going to have a 27-yard catch, and you can get there. If he goes over 75, which is his prop, you better believe he's going to have a 28-yard catch somewhere in there, correct? So I think that's a safer way to play it. I do think the Bengals win this game. I like Joe Burrow passing touchdowns. Joe Burrow is probably going to be low-owned as fuck, right? Yeah, no one's going to be on him. I think he's a sneaky-ass player.
He's not going to be completely low-owned. I think you're looking at 10% maybe less than that.
Yeah, and I think you're looking at 50 attempts again. 106 attempts in the last 2 games, 790 passing yards with 7 touchdowns in the last 2 games. At Chargers, at Baltimore. Now we're looking at a spot here at home against Pittsburgh, who's a very aggressive defense. Obviously, they're not going to be able to run the ball too much in this spot. I love Burrow this week. I love Burrow. I love Pickens. D-Rock, what are you on this week, betting or DFS?
I'm actually on the Bengals here on their side. The only problem with Chase Brown is I think Chase Brown's probably gonna be one. Is he gonna be one of the most chalkiest running backs on the slate?
He is the chalkiest running back on the slate, by not even close.
Pittsburgh's run D is not easy to run against.
Why is he so chalky?
Okay, because look at his price.
Hold on, yeah, Jerry,
he's playing over 90% of the snaps, almost all of the snaps. He's 6,200. He's involved in the passing game. He's game script proof. It doesn't matter if they're up, down, they're using him. And when you talk about volume and you talk,
his receptions have been insane. I'm just looking at it now. Yeah, he's got fucking 19 receptions.
Game log and see how he's done the last.
I didn't realize how much he was receiving. I hadn't played DFS at all.
Yeah,
so
he can get there in so many ways, and for his price, it's the best price per point per dollar on the slate.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Personally, I like going Higgins here over Chase, and I'd have to look back, but I think I had in my notes that I'm pretty sure Higgins is actually out targeting Chase.
Higgins has been amazing. Higgins has been awesome.
Higgins went off last game.
Yeah, Higgins had like 15 targets last week or some shit. So
I don't mind going the opposite route here. While everybody's going to Higgins, I don't mind paying the extra $2,000 and going up to Chase, and then just having to find an extra value piece. If that's going to get me a lot different from everybody else, and then you can still run it back. If you want to run it back, you can still run it back with Pickens, or you don't have to play Burrow. Maybe you just play Chase solo.
Yeah. So if you did 3 lineups, Jerry, how many of them are going to have Chase Brown on it?
Minimum 2.
Yeah, you're going like 70-80% ownership.
If I'm making 3 lineups, at least minimum.
If you're making 10, you're probably putting him on 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, he's a tough fade. He's got to really, really bust
because he's basically a dollar.
He can sink your lineups if you don't have him.
Looking at it right now, he's basically a dollar store CMC. Right? Like he's going to get there no matter what it is. He's either going to get 25 carries if they're winning, or he's going to get fucking 10 targets if they're losing. So, I said last year I liked him. Everyone was freaking out about Mixon being gone. I'm like, dude, I love Chase Brown. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Zach Moss. So I'm glad that experiment ended a while, and they're actually giving this kid the bell cow work. I think the Bengals win this week. I do. What do you guys think? Bengals.
I like the Bengals this week for sure.
Zab.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see none. If the Bengals win this week. I mentioned it on Stay Cash, and again, not every person watches every show, so you'll hear me say some stuff twice just to make sure that the people hear it. But if the Bengals win this week, they're making the playoffs. I'm telling you that right now. Everyone's buried this team. They called them dead. You're getting phenomenal pricing on them. Their schedule over the next 4 weeks after this is literally Steelers game, right? Right now they're 4-7. That puts them at 5-7 if they win this week. Cowboys, Titans, Browns. Chalk off 3 straight wins there. Now you're 8-7. 9 wins probably gets you in. And the team they're going to be competing with the most directly is the Denver Broncos, and they get Denver at home, second to last game of the season. So that's what you want. Yeah, you want your destiny in your own hands.
They're treating this game like a must-win.
Every game is a must-win.
The whole season is this game right here. So
Bengals always do well at the end of the year. They've actually played really well. They've played like an 8-2 team, not a 7-4-7 team. Every single loss they've had has been down to the wire on some fluke shit at the end of the game. This team can easily be 8-2.
They should have beat the Chargers. They should have beat KC. They should have beat.
I mean, they had the Ravens in overtime twice, I believe, Baltimore, that they lost to. The Patriots game, the first week of the season, the NFL came out 3 days later and said the fucking, who was it? Gesicki should have been a touchdown, and it was the wrong ruling by the ref, and they beat the Patriots. The next game after that, they lost 26-25 to the Chiefs on the non-holding call and the fake pass interference. Literally every game all year.
And
the Commanders game.
Against the Chargers, 2 missed field goals. Right, they could have taken the lead right there.
Yeah.
2 field goals in the 4th.
Yeah, Jerry, the Commanders game. That was the game that fucking Jaden Daniels hit a bomb, the fucking McLaurin, 60 yards down the corner of the field with a minute left in the game. Every single law, you can make a legitimate argument that this should be a 10-1 team. You can make a legitimate argument that a 50-50 variance. They were favored at the end of, I think, 6 of their 7 losses. They were favored at one point in the final 2 minutes. You're talking about the difference between 10-1 and 4-7. So I think they get right. I think variance owes them, and the regression guys.
The only problem I worry about is just Pittsburgh just knows how to fucking.
That's the problem. This is the
regular season.
This Pittsburgh team is good, and they're going to take advantage of your weaknesses. That's the
I almost I don't know. I like the Steelers +3, but I could see the Bengals winning this game, but Pittsburgh still covering the spread and it coming down.
Oh, it's scary as fuck. Whichever side you bet on this is. Listen, I'm basically a Bengals fan, and I'm scared to death of this game. Yeah. The Steelers, I think, are a very good team. Let's move over to Houston at Jacksonville. This one was a little bit weird looking at it, D-Rock. I was kind of glancing at these lines. We did the bets on the show the other week, and I saw this line at 3.5. This looks trappy as fuck. I just can't imagine any way the Jaguars beat anyone ever. And the Texans look like they should be turning it around. The line has moved, but you got 90% of the country on the Texans in this game. And this line is still at 3.5 where it was at a couple days ago. So what are you looking at in the Texans-Jaguars game here, D-Rock, from a DFS and betting?
And for those that watch the Stay Cash, and we have our little contest. I actually had the Texans wrote down earlier in the week because the spread was so low. And I really started thinking about it. And I felt the same way you did. I felt that there's something trappy here. And these division games with this division always are tight. It doesn't matter how bad these fucking teams are; they're always tight. I honestly don't like a whole lot DFS wise here. I do like Nico. I think Nico's in for a smash game.
Yeah.
I had already planned. I think his over. I don't have it in front of me. I think it was like 85 or something like that.
I love how D-Rock comes on.'s like, my notes are over there. I don't have the prices up. He takes all the notes and then leaves them in the kitchen for the show.
Well, hey, I'm gonna ladder him anyway. I think he could go up over like 130, 140. This guy, I think
he's 85 is his prop basically, 84 and a half, 85
Yeah,
and a half.
he went for 150 in his last game against Jacksonville. I think he just had an absolute smash spot. For me personally, it'd be a one-off with him. I don't really like anything over on Jacksonville's side. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr., I think he's going to get a little ownership, but no, I don't really trust Trevor Lawrence. I don't like this game.
All right, Jerry, what about you here? Obviously, what do you think of this line, first of all?
I'm on Jacksonville here. I'll
Really?
tell you. Okay. CJ Stroud has not looked good to me. Okay. He's thrown 5 interceptions in the last 3 weeks. And the Jaguars, I think what was it when they played Minnesota? They picked off Sam Darnold. I think they picked him off like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a chance to win that game. They kind of gave it away. The last time Houston and Jacksonville played, Jacksonville rushed for over 140 yards against them. It was kind of a tag team between Bigsby and Etienne.
Mm-hmm.
Bigsby had 90 yards and Etienne had 50 yards. I kind of like that game plan for them again this week. I think they're going to come out and try to just use those two. Bigsby's coming back from an ankle injury. I mean, I don't know how effective he's going to be. I think you can kind of see like a sneaky.
I think he'll be fine. He's been full in practice since Wednesday, I think he's 100%.
I kind of like Etienne a little bit here, as like if you're using him as like a value running back play. I mean, I think he has kind of a productive game. If you're using a defense, the stone minimum on DraftKings is Jacksonville. Like I said,
listen, if you think Jacksonville is going to hang in the game, 2,300, you got to play their defense, right? This is a defense that's already had multiple picks, and I think they've had multiple picks in 2 or 3 games. They've had 2 to 4 sacks in like almost every game. So,
and I'm telling you, they're playing a lot better. They're putting up double-digit fantasy points as a stone minimum defense. Last week against the Lions, it's the Lions. Mac Jones
listen, they got boat raced 52-6. But before that, 11,
off that game against
11, 10, 2, and 9 for a defense that's min-priced.
They had 3 sacks against Jalen Hurts when they played him. They had 3 interceptions against Sam Darnold when they played him. You could just the Lions are a much tougher team than both those teams.
You throw that Lions game out. Yeah.
This is a sneaky game for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I honestly hate the Jaguars, Zab. I despise them. But at the same token, I do love going at weird lines. I love going at interdivisional home dogs. And I love going at people who just shit the bed the week before, right? Like you're going to see me on Quentin Johnson. You're going to see me on Justin Jefferson. And the Jaguars fit all that. I just despise Trevor Lawrence with every inch of my being. It was probably my strongest stand of any quarterback that's come out on a negative side, that he's fucking garbage outside of Bryce Young. And I was getting shit on by everyone. So I'm very happy that he's a bag of shit now. So I can't push the button. But do you agree with this, Sam?
I don't think it's a Trevor Lawrence game. I think they're gonna run the ball on these.
No, you think it's more CJ Stroud's gonna throw a couple picks. It's gonna be a fucking 21-20 type final or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think the Jaguars defense is gonna be sneaky though.
They're not gonna be sneaky because they're the middle.
Yeah. I think
they're not gonna be the highest owned either. Like you're looking at like Indianapolis, the Jets, like they're the ones that are gonna be the higher owned defenses. Jacksonville probably somewhere in between, top 5 for sure in ownership.
All right, Zab, what do you like?
You're missing one of the best plays on this game. I don't know if you can get there DFS wise just for the price, but Evan Engram destroys zone coverage. Texans play zone coverage at one of the highest rates, playing at about 80 to 90%. That's where Evan Engram eats. He's getting his QB1 back. And we've seen in the past where Trevor Lawrence just leans heavily on Evan Engram. You're going to see Brian Thomas on Stingley, which is going to shut him down a lot. So Evan Ingram's going to eat in this matchup. I'm sure his betting line's around 50 or 60 yards, but yeah, I think it's an Evan Engram week. If you want to pay up and be different at tight end, which it's going to be pretty hard.
He's actually 47 and a half.
I just want to point out that he's going to be one of the higher owned tight ends. He's going to be close to like anywhere from 15 to 20%, something like that.
I didn't know if people were going to pay down just
because his price is it's fair. He's not overpriced.
No.
I'm seeing him right now as the 3rd highest owned tight end.
Yep, I think
and his prop Zab 47 and a half for what you were asking.
Yeah, I think he goes 70.
It's a smash.
60, 70.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go, USC. Let's go, USC. There we go. Down to 35. Gone.
But
So
yeah,
that's it. That's
Nico
the only
Ladder.
play on this, or you like the Nico side?
What's that? Sorry.
I feel like we're on delay. Let's pause. Okay. There we go. We'll recenter. Do you like what do you like on the Texans side?
Nico Collins. The Jaguars are giving up over 125 yards on average to the outside wide receiver. That's where you're going to see Nico playing a lot. Nico's going to eat in this matchup. He's seen a ton of first read targets, followed by Tank Dell. I think it's just the big three eating this matchup, especially on the Texans side. You're going to see Mixon, Nico, and then a little bit of Tank Dell mixed in. So those would be the only three I'd be in on that side of the ball.
Jerry, I mean, one of the things I like in this game is Nico touchdown plus 125. I like Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns from a betting perspective. I think it's almost safer to go Nico because if Stroud throws 2 or 3, it's definitely going to be one to Nico. Like you could book that. So I think you can get Nico without Stroud getting there. Would a lot of people going to be playing Nico this week, especially if you think Jacksonville has a shot of staying in this game or winning? Don't have any game flow to worry about here. You may have potentially could have a negative game script if Jacksonville fucking comes out with it.
Yeah, Nico, he'll be like 15%, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I love him this week. I think he's going to go absolutely batshit. One of the things I'm going to be doing this week, when you get these props up around 85, 87, it's really tough to bet these things straight, right? Like you need a 100-yard game basically in order to bet the prop. So I like to pair it with a touchdown. Most of these guys outside of Justin Jefferson, who's the king of 150 and 0, as we talk about all the time, Zap. You do 100 and a touchdown, and then pair him with Jefferson 100 and a touchdown. Pair him with another guy, Pickens 100 and a touchdown. That's the way I'm going to be playing Nico Collins. So I'm probably not going to bet his prop straight. I'm going to more do like 80 and a touchdown or 100 and a touchdown. Add the touchdown to it to get some value. Yeah.
How many with Joe Midson's price being all the way up to 8K? How many people look at that and just don't want to touch it because
I
of the
imagine no one's playing it, right?
And if this game does go the opposite way of what we're all thinking, this could be a big Joe Mixon game at like no ownership.
Mixon doesn't
Jerry,
go,
he has to be 1% owned, right?
No. He does not go overlooked. And it's not hard.
How?
It's not hard to get to any running back on the slate. Like he's priced up there with like Kamara and like
Bro, he's 8K. He hasn't top 20. He's top 20 once in the last 4 weeks.
No, he'll be anywhere from like 10 to 15%. He never goes.
I thought that would be. I was with you, D-Rock. I thought that was going to be a sneaky play.
That's why I figure people either just take the $200 discount, go to Henry, or pay up 500 more for Barkley.
Yeah.
No, like the guys that always go, the guys that people never get to are like Barkley and Henry.
And they're right there, though. I mean, he's more expensive than Henry.
And it's just because of the way they're priced.
Yeah, that's interesting. I thought that price would bring him down. Jerry, anything else in this game you like? Any sneaky plays? Anything weird in here?
No, we covered it.
Yeah, I don't think there's much. All right, Jerry, start us off. Arizona, Minnesota. I talked before. One of my favorite things to do in betting is wait for a player to shit all over himself on the road, especially if you can. That's usually the best scenario when a player's on the road, shits the bed, comes home after that shitty outing, and is a wide receiver diva to hammer them. Not only is Jefferson on the road, he was on the road for his last 3 games. And if you look at Justin Jefferson, 115, 137, hit the road for 3 games, 48, 81, 27, his last 3 games. So he hasn't been fed in 3 weeks. We're talking about almost a month until Justin Jefferson has had a 100-yard game. He's a diva. They're comfortably in position that they're making the playoffs, probably going to win the division, or probably up there to compete for the division with Detroit. This is a spot that they're going to feed Justin Jefferson. There's no way he doesn't leave this game with 15 targets. There's no way he doesn't leave this game with 130 yards. I think he absolutely nukes out of his face, Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes like the games that we saw last week, you got to get these other guys involved. You got to get Addison involved.
I said win the division, by the way. I meant make the playoffs. Go on.
Right. So they got Addison involved. They got Hawkinson back. He's involved now. They're using Naylor. They're running the ball with Aaron Jones. You kind of have to show defenses that we're able to spread this ball out to get Jefferson open, right? He's been getting double teamed. Now you come home, they got to account for all these guys. You got Hawkinson back. He's seeing a lot more snaps. He's a lot more effective. He had 100-something yards last week. You got to account for all these guys now. Now you feed Jefferson, right? Now he's going to get that one-on-one. Now he's going to eat at home, right? I love Justin Jefferson this week. He's one of my favorite plays on the slate. He's the one I'm going to on the Vikings. On the other side, Trey McBride, just a beast. He's a wide receiver one priced as a tight end, right? He's 5,800. I mean, look at the guys. The wide receivers that are priced at 5,800, none of them have the upside that McBride does. You can always use him in the flex as a basically a wide receiver one, right? If you want to run 2 tight end builds, he's the one I love on the Cardinals. So Jefferson, McBride here. These are the ones I'm going to go to. I'm not really looking at anybody else.
I got to give a little update.
Hi.
Oh, what up?
What's up?
There's some camera time. What's your name, brother?
Theo.
Theo, what's up, my man? What grade are you in?
Second.
Second. You got a football play for us this weekend? Who do you like this weekend?
I don't know.
Who's your favorite
Got a
team?
little Justin Jefferson.
What?
You think Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, Jefferson Sevenson.
Yeah,
That's
Justin
it. You heard it
Jefferson.
right
Are you,
here. Lock it in.
are you a Steelers fan?
Yeah.
All right. So you think the Steelers are going to beat the Bengals?
Yeah.
I think you're wrong.
Uh-oh.
I'm coming at you with the Bengals. Me and you're going to make a...
the Steelers.
No, I ain't losing. We're coming back on here on Monday, and me and you are going to go to war on this one.
Okay, we'll be at the
Yeah.
We'll be at the water slides.
We'll be at Kalahari.
Ah, man, I want to go to Kalahari.
All right.
Why didn't I get invited?
It's like, come on.
Because I'm a Bengals
Come
fan?
on.
All right, I'm coming. All right, killer. We're gonna go to war on Monday. Just know
All
when the
right.
Steelers are losing, just know I'll be rooting against you.
All right.
I'm coming for you.
See
He
you,
wants to talk shit back.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Zach, where are you going? You going to water park?
Oh, yeah. We're headed there tomorrow morning. So I'll be. Yep.
By the way, I got to give you an update. So Bill Rupp has no idea. Like, he doesn't get involved in the Twitter college football, Jerry. Bill Rupp tweets, Michigan are clowns. Take the win and leave. What a show of poor sportsmanship by Michigan. Complete losers and clowns. Hashtag Michigan football. Hashtag Ohio State football. And then he just texts me. He goes, people are going nuts on me. I'm not even an Ohio State fan. I go, bro, you cannot tweet about Ohio State or Michigan without getting destroyed. He posted this tweet fucking like 10 minutes ago. He's got 14,000 impressions, 88 comments, and people are just fucking just boom, 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 just teeing off. Ohio State fans, after a loss, are the worst people in the world.
Yeah.
They literally are just sitting there on Twitter like this, just waiting for some dumb fuck like Bill Rupp to go post something so they can just bang and just keep fucking punching. Bill's getting killed. Everyone go kill Bill on Twitter. Just attack that tweet and call him a clown. Just make fun of him. Just destroy him. He's getting bludgeoned. I think it's the first time Bill's got 88 comments on a tweet ever. And it's only been 10 minutes. This thing's going to go viral as fuck. And he's going to be the new face of hate for Ohio State.
He's going to go full heel turn.
Oh, I love it. I love it. He doesn't even know what to do right now. He's sitting there like, what's happening? Go on, Jerry. Sorry.
What was I saying?
We're talking about Arizona.
Yeah, I mentioned McBride and Justin Jefferson, my 2 favorite plays.
Okay. That's it. Anything sneaky here?
No, I'm not looking at anything sneaky.
All right. Zab, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm on Jefferson and McBride. McBride's going to probably eat in this matchup.
Let's go.
He loves defenses that play too high cover schemes. That's what we're going to see the Vikings play most of the time. They also can't stop anybody right now. Their secondary is just getting bludgeoned by everybody. So I wouldn't be shocked if Marvin Harrison Jr. goes for probably 60, 70, 80 yards, somewhere in that range. He's going to be involved. Like I said, they can't stop anybody. So Hawkinson's always involved too, especially he's the backup tight end's out. So Hawkinson, I think, played about 97% of snaps last week. So you're going to see a ton of Hawkinson also. But main two are McBride and Jefferson.
Listen, I'm rooting for it. In the FFWC, Jerry, how nasty is my team in that fucking thing?
Pretty badass.
I mean, it has to be one of the best. I think I'm ranked like 7th in the country in points in that league.
It was the
Like,
all upside team.
I
I remember it was the all upside team that all came through.
Yeah, I was 14th in the country, and then I dropped 180 last week and lost somehow, 180 points and lost. And this week I already have 120. I think I'm taking down the $150,000. You hear this team, D-Rock? I got to run through and talk about myself real quick. Joe Burrow, Derrick Henry, A-Chan, Neighbors, Amon-Ra, Lad McConkey, Brock Bowers, Jonnu Smith, Cowboys kicker, and I got 3 different defenses that I start.
D-Rock's
That's
on my
filthy.
team, buddy.
What's up?
D-Rock's on my team. The team that's
Oh, he's
Left.
the team
Yeah.
that fucking stole a win because my guy got fucking kicked out of the game or fucking didn't. announced
That's
out.
our big win of the year.
Fucking assholes. Bro, I got Cedric Tillman, Rico Dowdle, DeAndre Hopkins, and these guys on my bench. All right.
I mean, it's not hard to stack up a team when we got Enzo.
They're a bunch of retards.
When you're drafting right next to him.
Yeah, it was a nice spot to be right next to Enzo.
Enzo just takes the
Enzo just
wide
took the
receiver.
whole
He took
Chiefs
every
team.
chief. That's it. He took every chief, and then Tommy just picking up all this.
It was nice to be on the turn right there with Enzo right in front. I was like, who do I want? I'm going to get them both. Is the guy I want on the Chiefs? No, then I'm going to get them both. D-Rock, what do you like in this game here? Arizona, Minnesota. You're on mute.
Jefferson, McBride, same page as everybody else. I mean, when McBride's getting almost 8 targets a game, it's just hard not to go to him, even at that price. I actually do like Harrison here at 6K. I don't think he's going to get any ownership. I really don't want nothing to do with Kyler at all. Darnold, I don't know. I guess you can stack Darnold with Jefferson, run back McBride, or Harrison if you want. But for me personally, I think I would just do like mini stats here, like a Jefferson McBride or a Jefferson Harrison.
I mean, dude, we're talking about Justin Jefferson, Jerry. Fucking 5 touchdowns in his first 6 games. Hasn't scored since week 7. Right? Like, this is insane. Like, he's got to get in the box this week. So I think they got to force him to.
Every week I've seen on Twitter all these people, you always see them like massive touchdown parlays that people put on Twitter before Sunday.
Yeah.
They always have Justin Jefferson in them.
Yeah, exactly.
I have not seen a single one on Twitter this week with Justin Jefferson in it.
All right, good. That's the time to take him. Right. Once all the lotto people are off him, that's the time to take him. So
It's a time to play him too in DFS.
Yeah, this is the time. And he's not going to be high owned, right, Jerry?
He'll get like 12, 13%, something like that.
Okay, so that's fine. So, yeah, I love that. It's not much sneakiness to this game, obviously. Not really looking at either of the running backs. From receiving side, Zab, I know you're interested in Harrison. The shocking thing is the Minnesota pass D. Everyone talks about how great the Minnesota defense is. They're actually pretty exploitable, I should say, through the air. So I don't hate Harrison this week. Any sneakiness here? Anyone? Does anyone have an Addison, a Naylor, a Wilson, a Dortch, anything that you're interested in?
I mean, if you think Arizona's going to, if they watch the clips from the Bears game, if you think they're just going to do what the Bears did and eliminate Jefferson again, why not go to Addison?
Yeah, I think Addison has a shot. It's kind of expensive, though, there at 5,300 when you're talking about other guys at 6K.
I mean, honestly, why don't more people do that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the problem with Jefferson is
not going to go like over.
The problem with Addison is, you're chasing, right, Jerry? Because he's
they got to account for him. He went off last game, and they're not going to double team Jefferson and leave him alone.
Yeah, 160 yards last week. I think that's part of the reason why I love Jefferson so much, because after Addison having like his career game last week, there's no way you're going to sit there and just say what Jerry said and just double Jefferson and let Addison beat you, because you just watched Addison drop like 150 yards and a touchdown last week. So let's move on to the next game. New England, Indianapolis. Obviously not going to be much excitement in this one, Jerry. We do have a couple injuries here. This is probably the most banged up game on the slate, right? We got Demario Douglas, who's questionable. We have Pierce, who's questionable. Josh Downs is out. So we do have some opportunity here maybe for some value. What are you looking at?
I'm not really on Anthony Richardson this week. I mean, I get it. He can kind of get there just by, with his legs. He kind of let everybody down last week. He was a huge bust. He was probably one of the higher owned quarterbacks in the slate. I don't think I'm going to go to him, but I kind of do like some of these receivers of his as kind of value plays. I think the one I like the most, I mean, he's questionable, but he logged a full practice. I like Alec Pierce. Mm-hmm. Josh Downs ruled out, obviously.
And Pittman was banged up too, right? Wasn't Pittman on the injury report for a minute?
No? I think Pittman's
he
good
was,
now.
but he's off now.
Yeah, I know he's good now.
Games, I'll tell you that. In the 2 games that Downs missed earlier this year, Pierce had games of 24.5 and 16.6 fantasy points. Those are the best 2 games he's had this year, and that was with Anthony Richardson at quarterback, not Joe Flacco. And they kind of have a connection there. And the Patriots defense, they just gave up huge games to Waddle, Puka, Cooper Kupp the last 2 weeks. Like the Patriots defense, the secondary is weak, man. I don't care who they got, Christian Gonzalez, these guys, they're not stopping anybody. So I kind of like maybe one of these value receivers from
I think Pierce is the spot for sure.
I like Pierce. I mean, if you want to you want to save more, I don't mind Adonai Mitchell. We haven't really seen shit out of him. Pierce is the guy we've seen it out of him. They've connected on big plays. He's the guy I like.
Yeah. I like Pierce a lot, Zab, in this one from a DFS perspective, not as much from a prop perspective, but from DFS, he's under 5K. And this is a spot where a lot of people are going to see that Q tag. They're going to click on it. They're going to see this is the lower stakes game. High stakes players obviously already know. But you're going to see that Q tag. That's going to scare you a little bit. Then you're going to go in and see it was a foot injury. And that's going to scare the shit out of you when you see a foot injury for a wide receiver. But he practiced in full with no limitations, it's saying yesterday. So I think Pierce is in a very good spot. What do you like here?
Yeah, again, the opposite side. Something I always look at is defenses that bleed yards to the tight end. And that's what the Colts do. They're terrible against the defense, the tight end. So Hunter Henry, he's in a great spot against this Colts tight end linebacker crew that's just bad. So yeah, Hunter Henry, but I double the Alex Pierce call. I like that. So
yeah, and Jerry, we're probably looking at a shit ton of Pittman ownership, right? Like Pittman's going to be chalky as fuck once. I know right now it may not show that, but now that Downs is out, come game time, 5,200 Pittman.
Yeah, Pittman's going to come with some ownership.
So Pierce will probably be a little contrarian there at that point.
Pierce is contrarian.
Yeah.
I think you'll see some ownership on a Donnie Mitchell will get some ownership. He'll be like 10% or so, just because how cheap he's priced. He might even be higher owned than Pittman.
Really? Yeah, because their props are almost the same, which is shocking.
Pierce is getting almost no ownership. Right, as of
Pierce,
now, because
Pierce
once the Q tag comes off, he might.
And if you look at the props, Jerry, that's one of the things I like to look at. You look at Donnie Mitchell's prop; it's down there in the 20s. You look at Pierce; he's at 41.5. Pittman's 50.5. So they have Pierce and Pittman's prop almost identical, and you're probably going to see like quadruple to 8x the ownership on Pittman.
I mean, you just got to watch the games. You see Anthony Richardson; he connects with Pierce a lot more better than Pittman.
Yep.
Do you think there's a lot of ownership, or people just look at this game and say, man, this is going to be a shit game? They just move right past it.
Well, Anthony Richardson, I mean, you don't need – he gets there with his legs, right? If it's a bad weather game, if it's a low total game, it doesn't matter. What matters is his rushing upside, right? He rushes one in, rushes two in, maybe gets 70, 80. Last week he had 10 rushes for 60 yards. No. Like he can get there on his legs.
The week before he had 2 rushing touchdowns. Yeah.
And he's cheap. He's cheap. Like he's very easy to fit in any lineup.
Yeah,
I think a cold stack would be one of the most popular in the morning.
I don't think anything will be popular on this game, but
if you're just talking the early games, I think the cold side will be one of the most popular out of them early games.
The ones that will get ownership in this game: Hunter Henry, like 12, 13%. Anthony Richardson, maybe the same. Adonai Mitchell as a value play. Those are the ones that are going to get the ownership. Jonathan Taylor is going completely overlooked. I don't even think he's going to get any ownership.
Yeah,
he hasn't been as good lately, in my opinion.
He might get a little bit just if it's a weather game.
I mean, listen, I think the thing with him is I think he's better with Flacco. Honestly. I agree. I think when Flacco's in, they have to. At the beginning of the season, obviously he was going a little ham for a minute there, but he's kind of worn down a little bit. I think with Flacco in, it forces the defense back a little bit. And when Richardson comes, they know it's either quarterback. They got to protect the quarterback run. They're not as worried about the pass, and they're kind of stacking the box more. So I have no interest in Jonathan Taylor at all.
Yeah, and when it comes to playing him, like he could easily get vultured at the goal line.
Yeah, I have no interest, zero. He can get vultured at the goal line. They're stacking the box. There's nothing there for me.
He doesn't dump the ball off either. It's either pass downfield or run. He doesn't dump the ball off.
His second read is his legs.
Yeah.
So let's move over to Seattle versus the Jets. This is a game that I actually have as one of my 3 favorite best bets of the weekend. One of my best bets was the Green Bay Packers, who are already covered. Another one was the Jets, and I forget what my third one is, but I'll remember by the end of the show.
Tampa Bay.
I believe that was it, -5.5.
I think we were all in on it.
Was that it?
I believe so.
I believe that was it. So I think the Jets lose this game. I think a lot of people are turning around and saying, oh, the Jets got to get a win. No, they don't. They don't have to get a win at all. That team is fractured. That team is broken. Anyone who's looking at the Jets right now, I'm a Jets fan. I got Jets shit all over my fucking wall. I got autographed everything fucking everywhere in here. The Jets are broken. They're done. They're not winning. They may not win another game all year. This team is fractured. Garrett Wilson is a quitter. Sauce Gardner's a quitter. Aaron Rodgers has been quitting. This team is lost. They have no coach. They have no defensive coordinator. And the Seahawks are a hungry team. This line being -108 for the Seahawks, I'm all in on it. So I know it's a road team. I know they're traveling cross country. I know it's west to east. I know the Jets are due for a win. Blah, blah, blah. I think the team's done. I think they quit. And I would not be surprised if this game is like 17-3 at the half. I really wouldn't. But Jerry, from a DFS and betting perspective, what are your favorite things here?
Is this still kind of like a Geno revenge game? He still got revenge on these guys?
Yeah, you have to, dude.
A little bit, right?
Dude, listen, when you were on the Jets and they ruined your whole entire career, Geno Smith lived in the apartment I lived in. So me and Geno Smith had the same apartment in New Jersey. I fucked way more girls in there than he did. But me and Geno, yeah. I mean, listen, you have Tommy G fucking spunk all over your apartment. You got the Jets spunk. He hates everything associated with New Jersey. So, yes, you have to still be mad at the Jets. They ruined his whole career.
Yeah,
Took him 10 years to get back to be a starter.
Going to Geno, but I kind of like maybe I like a little bit of DK Metcalf. I mean, he's still kind of cheap, man. 6,400 is pretty cheap for him. I don't mind him. I mean, he's priced him and Jackson Smith and Jigba are priced almost the same now.
That's my boy, JSN.
So I mean, I don't mind some of these receivers from the Seahawks. Kenneth Walker's been kind of quiet like the last few weeks. I don't know. Maybe you can go to him on the Jets, man. I don't know. I have no interest in any of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, listen. The bottom line is the Jets' running game is a sieve. I like Kenneth Walker here. I think Kenneth Walker is going to probably be sneaky, right? I mean, he hasn't really been hitting value or anything from a DFS perspective. I don't think he scored.
Yeah, this is a good matchup for him. I mean,
this is the spot.
The Jets'
dude.
run defense was horrible.
Jets' run defense is a sieve. It's a close game. I think the fucking Seattle's going to win. Obviously, you're not going to be talking about optimal weather conditions whenever you're talking about Jersey in December. So this should lead to, I think Kenneth Walker goes the fuck off. He's 7,000, so he's overpriced a little bit compared to other guys that you can get. But it's that perfect contrarian price.
I like it. Now that I'm looking at it, he's priced right there with
there with the other guys. No one's going to touch him.
Yeah, and he'll be under 10%. He's got to be.
It's got to be. No, he'll probably be like 3%, right? Like I can't imagine anyone.
You got Bijan.
You got Kyron Williams. You got Bijan $100 more.
200 more.
Yeah, there's no way anyone's going to him. So, and then if you go down, you have a lot of value obviously below him. So I think Kenneth Walker and Pickens. So I'm probably not playing DFS this week. You guys know I'm mostly betting in props. I'll be betting these props. But I may actually throw a lineup in now just to get a Pickens-Kenneth Walker lineup if you're telling me both these guys are going to be under-owned. I think there's a nice little contrarian combo there where you can go chalk with the rest. And those guys both have 30-point ceilings where you can get there with the big plays. So the Jets defense, just to fill you guys in on what they've been doing against the run, 91, 147, 187, 111, 149, 149. That's the last 6 weeks, the Jets versus the run. Kenneth Walker goes off. 2 touchdowns, 110 yards. Book it. Zab?
Yep, I like JSN in this matchup. The Jets aren't great against the slot. Sauce has been okay against the outside wide receivers.
Sauce is overrated right now. He's not playing
well. I think DK is going to catch a long one. If you want a first quarter prop, it's going to be DK Metcalf over whatever his prop is, because every single first quarter he catches like 30-yard bomb. So I like that. I do like JSN. He's been seeing a ton of first read targets and a ton of first snaps over the last couple of weeks. So I think DK Metcalf being full strength only is going to help that. He's going to see more targets on the inside. So nothing. I do like Kenneth Walker. I just double what you guys say.
JSN's averaging almost 30 fantasy points a week right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, how do you 40, not go
27, 20? Yeah, he's out of his mind.
He's been eating her lately, and I think they finally start using him. Like they drafted him last year. They drafted him barely.
I was a year early on him,
and no one, he didn't do much last year, but he's really stepping up this year. So I like.
He's the best receiver on the team. Yeah, I was a year early on him last year. I was all over him. I drafted him all my leagues. I was playing him DFS. Didn't come through this year. He's finally making it look good, but all on it. D-Rock, what do you like in this game? Jets, Seattle.
JSN is not a happy guy right now, though. Not after watching.
He's going to be on an anger streak after watching Ohio State lose
tomorrow.
Yeah,
I had 2 bets wrote down actually that were 2 of my favorite bets for this game.
Yeah, you should bring them next time.
You guys nailed them. JSN. Yeah, no, I got it.
You got him. There it is.
JSN over 54.5 for receiving. I love that bet. And then I like Kenneth Walker's rushing and receiving. I think it's 89.5.
Yes, it's
I love that bet.
I didn't look at it before the show. I was on Kenneth Walker touchdown. I was going to take his over rushing because I saw it was like 58.5 or some shit. But the rushing and receiving is the way to go. 85.5. That's gold. You can ladder.
I love that bet.
I like that. I was looking at Kenneth Walker 60 and a touchdown rushing, but listen, I think he goes fucking ham, and we've seen it a million times from Kenneth Walker. Right? He's either 30 or 13. Those are his games. He either scores 13 points or 30 points, right, Joe?
Yeah. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm really liking Kenneth Walker. Right
now. Let's go. Dude, we're probably gonna be the only people on him too. So hopefully you guys tuned in, and win a bunch of money off this shit. Let's go, Jerry. Right now, Tennessee, Washington. is the next game on the slate. What do we like?
So we have, looks like, is Austin Eckler out now? They're ruling
I
him
think Eckler's on
Yeah,
IR.
he got put on IR.
Yeah, I think he's out for a while now.
Brian Robinson, I mean, he screwed me big time last week. I mean,
Yeah,
first drive, he was eating, he was moving, they were moving the ball, and then he gets injured. I had him in some awesome lineups and completely killed those lineups. I don't think I'm gonna go back to him. I think Jaden Daniels, I kind of like him here. With they're starting to use Noah Brown a lot more. So, and he's cheap, 4,400. You can kind of go to him. McLaurin, I mean, you can go to him too. I think my preferred play is to go Jaden Daniels and Noah Brown.
Would you play him? You're playing with Noah Brown?
Yeah, I think I would go with Noah Brown with him. On the Tennessee side, I mean, what about this Nick Westbrook-Akina, dude? I mean, all he does is catch touchdowns.
Dude,
nobody fucking ever plays him.
Last year, we used to bet him plus 500, plus 550 to catch touchdown all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That's all he does. Red zone monster, Westbrook-Akina. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this passing offense for the Titans, they've been looking a lot better. Like Will Levis, I mean, he's making less mistakes. This is not a great Commanders like pass defense. Calvin Ridley's cheap. He's 5,700. I mean, he's been heavily involved since they got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. So I mean, I don't mind him, Ridley or Westbrook-Akine. Tony Pollard, like we saw him go off last week. Commanders have one of the worst rush defenses in the league. I think you can kind of go to him also. I don't know about game stack in this game, but there's definitely pieces in this game I like.
Yeah. There's opportunity here. Westbrook-Akine was a guy last year, I think 3 touchdowns in the first 5 games or some shit last year. I think he's had touchdowns in like 5 of his last 6 or something insane this year. You're not going to get much volume from him. But I personally, rather than risk a DFS lineup on one of those like 1 for 20 games or 2 for 18 games, I personally would rather just bet his touchdown prop. So this is something where if you're not going to play him, you're getting plus 300 on the touchdown. So for a guy who's scored a touchdown in 6 of his last 7 games, he's scored a touchdown. And in those games, I think he has a total of 12 catches. Right? Yeah. He gets 2 catches every game. One of them's for a touchdown. You're getting plus 300 on him to score. Now, you give me a guy who scored a touchdown in 6 of his last 7 games, again, in a game that should be a little bit higher scoring, a defense that's not that elite, plus 300. That's where I'm going to go make my money on that, and I'll play someone else in DFS. Zab, what do you like here?
Scarface.
Oh, by the way, the last thing I wanted to mention, Will Levis is a bag of shit, and I've been telling you guys this since he was drafted. He's fucking horrible. He's not good. I know he'll put up some numbers. I know people are starting to say Will Levis is coming around. He's a one-read quarterback. He knows where he's going, and he goes there. I do not think he's good at all, throws too many picks. But from fantasy, he's got a little Blake Bortles in him, right? Where you could be bad and still come through with a big fantasy game.
Yeah, his receivers are cheap, and he chucks the ball.
Right, yeah, he's fine for DFS. When I say he's bad, he's a fine play for DFS at 4,900 or whatever the fuck his price is. I'm not looking at it right now. But he's a bad real-life quarterback. But what he does is he stares down. He knows who he wants to go to. And Westbrook-Akine is a guy who, second he gets in the red zone, he's looking at him. That's his first read down there. And he's pretty much a one-read quarterback. So go on, Zap.
Ridley feels just too cheap for this matchup, and especially what he's been doing. I think 3 of the last 4 matchups, he's gone over 100 yards. I mean, if you want a cheaper wide receiver, it's hard not to go. I think this game has sneaky shootout potential. I think Jaden's going to be chucking the ball over the field with McLaurin and Noah Brown. Even Zach Ertz, he's in a good matchup again. He just kind of runs 10 yards down the field, sits in the middle, catches a ball. So he's going to be a cheap option there. And he gets a lot of targets in the end zone. So do like Zach Ertz as a cheap tight end play if you need someone real low down there. But, yeah, I like Jaden Daniels. Brian Robinson, I'll probably go back to him at least for a touchdown because, he shit on everybody last week. Everybody had him in a touchdown parlay. He didn't get there. He got hurt. Now he's you're going to see him get a full complement of snaps in the red zone. And Jerry McNichols, 5,400. He's going to be catching the ball. He's going to be playing that Austin Eckler role. Yeah, so he's very interesting. If we think it's a shootout, and I mean that's pretty much what Tennessee does right now is shootout games. Why not go McNichols? He's probably going to catch 5 balls.
I don't think nobody's going to go McNichols. Everybody's going to go Robinson.
Absolutely zero ownership.
Yeah, everybody's going to go Robinson.
The
And
thing
this
is,
is
like,
like
when you look at McNichols' price range, like, if you want to go down to that price range, you got guys like Rashad White down there,
Yeah.
Jalen Warren. You go down a little bit more, down to Gus Edwards,
His
up a little
price
bit.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, his price does not make sense. He should be
Like, why
much
is he
lower.
5,400?
Yeah, I mean, the guys in
but again,
range-
that makes that's like a milli maker play, right? Like, that's something where you go in a milli maker, you throw in Kenneth Walker McNichols as your running backs.
That's like
and you
that
just
one
fucking-
week when everybody played Bucky and it was Sean Tucker that got there. Like,
Right, exactly.
He was 0.5% owned. Like,
The difference with this is you do have a clearer path, right? Like, Tucker came out of nowhere, right? Was like the third guy that got there. Like, in this one, I mean, it makes sense, right? Brian Robinson and McNichols are probably going to be the two guys. You're not going to see Wiley.
I mean, the
or
path to him getting there is Brian Robinson gets injured again. Like, he just got injured.
100%. 100%.
And that's been happening a lot lately.
Yeah,
It
Brian
is.
Robinson's injured a lot.
I mean, look, that's that. Like I said, that's a large field milli maker.
That's a milli maker type play.
Do not put him in your
100%.
single entries. Don't play him in higher stakes shit.
I mean, one of my favorite plays on the slate is Will Levis interception. I think it was minus 138 or 140.
It's been a while. He hasn't thrown an interception in a couple weeks, right?
He threw it the last couple games.
threw it
He's
last
thrown one
week.
pretty much every game. Yeah. I think you can. Let me see. 2-1-2-1-1-0-1-1. So, I mean, you're getting a play at 140 that's hit 90% of the time. Like, I'm telling you, this guy's a bag of shit. He's a complete bag of shit. He's fucking horrible. I tell everyone this. He's horrible. So, I mean, people will say, oh, he threw for 270 and 280. He's a bag of shit. He's going to throw the ball to the other team at least once a game. And Jaden Daniels, shockingly, is plus money for a pick. I think it's plus 120. He's usually very good with the ball. He was good with the ball in college. He was a good ball at the start of the year. 3 interceptions in the last 2 games. Might be hitting a little bit of a, kind of leagues kind of figuring him out a little bit. I think he had 2 picks in the first fucking 9 games of the season total, right? And he's had 3 in the last 2 games. So whenever you start to see quarterbacks start to throw picks out of nowhere, that's usually a run and a trend. I think both these guys throw a pick in this game. I think you parlay that together for plus 280. I think it's an interesting play there. Who's up next, D-Rock or Zab? Zab, did you just go?
I went, but you are probably getting Lattimore active this game. I'm pretty sure he didn't play last week. He's going to be in there this week. It's probably his 3rd week with the team. So that's only going to strengthen this Washington defense.
What'd you say, Jer?
I don't think he's played yet since joining the team, has he?
Yeah, no, I think it's his first game.
No.
I think it's his first game in there.
Yeah. So, D-Rock, what do you like in this one?
I don't like this game at all. I mean, the only play I liked I had wrote down was Zach Ertz. I mean, he's averaging 8 targets a game his last 3 and at 3,800. To me, it's a no-brainer.
That is cheap. Why is he 3,800?
When you're getting 7-8 targets a game over the last 3 weeks, it's hard to
Jerry,
pass
why
it.
is he 3,800?
I don't know. They refuse to raise his price.
That seems really low.
and
It's
I
probably a
think
week
it-
where
I
you
think it has
don't really
mostly to
need it
do
this
with-
week, right?
He never gets ownership.
Yeah, that's fucking weird. I mean, he's playing. I'm just putting in a snap share. Bates is cutting in a little bit, 41% last week, but he's still 76%, 80%, 77%. Started the season at 71, 65, and 64. I mean, he's been hovering right around 80%. So snaps are there.
8 targets a game.
Snaps are there. Targets are there. I think
His
Tennessee's
last
decent.
5, outside of the Giants game, his last 5 games, he had 11 targets against the Bears, 8 against Pitt, 7 against Philly, and
What's
8
his
against
problem?
Dallas.
What's his prop? This will tell the story.
Yeah, it's weird that he doesn't.
That is very weird. 33 and a half, so that's even low. But let's see, 38, 47, 31, 2 touchdowns in the last. Listen, if you're punting tight end, that's the place to go, right? I mean,
Yeah, last 2 weeks he scored.
yeah, that's odd. I mean, Bates is playing, but he's not really doing anything. So yeah, I don't hate that at all. Anything sneaky here, Jerry? You think in this game?
I mean, we kind of covered it. There's nothing really sneaky.
Westbrook
Brown.
is probably
Noah
Brown.
Brown. He gets some ownership, but I don't think there's anything sneaky.
Who's the chalk punts this week, Jer?
The chalk punts, we haven't got to them yet. But
all right, so I was gonna say because I feel like we keep saying there's chalk punt. All right, so let's go Tampa Bay, Carolina, Jerry. Start it off.
Now
Actually, you know what, Zap? Let me let you start it off on this game because I know your favorite play of the entire week's here. So I want to let you say it first, just before you get it. So Tampa Bay, Carolina. Give us a rundown on any injuries that we're looking at for this game, Zab, and then talk about your boy.
Jalen Coker's out for the Panthers. Jatavian Sanders is out, and then that's about it. But start with the Panthers side. Chuba Hubbard's going to be in another good spot for the Panthers here. The Bucs struggle to stop the run, So I do like Hubbard as a bring back. And to my favorite plays, Mike Evans. He's going to absolutely eat in this matchup. He's in a great spot against the Panthers defense that he has just torched in his career. He's typically gone for around 80 yards. Not only that, but the team basically came out and said that this record of him to have consecutive years of 1,000 receiving yards is very important to the team. It's very important to Mike Evans, and he needs to average about 100 yards the rest of the way. So
Mike Evans is a fucking asshole, so that definitely is going to be important to him, for sure.
Yeah, and he's due for 100%. One of those. He played about 60%, 70% of the snaps his first week back from injury. I think he sees about an increase about 90% in this game. So I think he'll be full go this week. Yeah, he's going to see – I think he gets up to about 130, 150 yards. He has great matchups down the stretch, but if they get that 150, that's going to have to lessen what he has to do every game the rest of the way. He's just in a smash spot. Same with Baker Mayfield.
By the way, before you jump off him, the last game in January of 2024, 3 for 22. I don't know what that was. I don't know if he got hurt. I don't know if that was an aberration. The games before that, 2023, played 2 games against the Carolina Panthers, had 17 catches on 24 targets for 369 yards and 4 touchdowns. And the year before that, he had 15 catches on 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. So here's his game logs versus Carolina. 96, 104, 77, 89, 96, 207, 162. Pretty much scored a touchdown a game, and then he had the one aberration in January where he went 3 for 22, where he might have got hurt. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not digging into. I'm just looking at the game log. So yes, Zeb, the history there is strong.
And the Panthers just bleed catches. They give up top 5 in catches to the opposing wide receiver. Not only that, but Baker, he just crushes zone coverage, and that's what the Panthers play at one of the highest rates. I love Baker this matchup. This is probably one of my favorite spots is Baker, Evans, even Cade Otton. Cade Otton's in a great spot versus, like I said, a team that plays zone coverage. He's just going to sit in those easy zones, catch and runs. He's in a bad spot. This is a good bounce back spot for Cade and Bucky Irving. This Panthers defense is bad against the run, so.
Yeah, Cade Otton, as we saw, Godwin's the guy who usually lays in the zone, right? Like he's the perfect guy to fucking just sit in that zone and just devour that Baker used to eat when we saw right when Godwin went down, Cade Otton became Chris Godwin, right? Yeah. He had like 270 yards in the next 3 games. Last couple of games he's fallen off a little bit, but this is the get right game. I think this is a Cade Otton game too. 4,500 at tight end, probably going to get overlooked. I don't think anyone's going to play him. His prop perspective here, Jerry, you're looking at 42, like that. I like everything. I like Baker 2+ touchdowns. You said you have some punt plays here, so talk us through this, Jerry.
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite games to attack on the slate. And it's actually not from the Tampa Bay side. It's from the Carolina side.
There we go. We already gave the Tampa Bay, so give us Carolina.
This game, it jumped up 3 points from when it opened up. The total jumped up 3 points. It's at 46.5. And so one of my favorite ways to attack the slate is with Bryce Young. He's 4,900. He's looked a lot better in the last couple of weeks, okay, since he got the job back. Is he putting up monster numbers? No, but he doesn't have to at the price that you're getting him at, okay? And Tampa Bay is one of the worst pass defenses in the league. They got guys are getting injured left and right. I think
should have game flow on your side.
Okay, so the way that I like building it is using Bryce Young, using one maybe even 2 one of these cheaper receivers. You got Xavier.
I'm going to give you the one. You're playing Thielen.
So you got Xavier Leggett. You got Adam Thielen, and the one that's getting the most ownership is David Moore. He had 10 targets last week. He looks to be one of the highest owned receivers on the slate, but I don't like going to him. I kind of like going to Adam Thielen because you got Jalen Coker out.
Thielen.
You got Jatavian Sanders out. The way to attack, Tampa, their slot corners out this week. He's going to be working that slot. I think he's the one that's going to get most of the targets this week. So I kind of like Bryce Young with Xavier Leggett, Adam Thielen, and you can run it back with Mike Evans. You can run it back with Bucky Irving.
I think at this point you full game stack it then if you're doing that.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Like just stack this fucking thing.
You can, like I said, this is one of my favorite games to stack. It just depends on which way you want to go with it.
I would be doing it the other way, right? Like I'm going to go Baker. I'm going to go Baker, Otton, Evans. And
Baker
then
and Evans becomes expensive.
And I'm bringing it back with Thielen. And so
the reason I like stacking it is because of the cheap pieces. Because you're getting exposure to a great game environment for very cheap. And you don't need much out of these guys. You don't need much out of Bryce Young. You don't need much out of Thielen. You don't need much out of Moore, Xavier Legette. And then you can just drop in, that's the dough right there, and then put the toppings on top,
I don't think anything gets expensive.
Jefferson in there too.
I don't think anything gets expensive this week
because Brown. You can fit it. You can
everything's so affordable, dude. I just put it in right now. I just put in Baker, Evans, Pickens, Otten. I hate Bryce Young. I'm with you though, Jerry. I think this is if there's a spot to play it. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I like to attack you when you make the crazy calls here.
It's the spot. It's not.
Yeah, this isn't a bad spot. But if you
price,
100%,
it's what it gets you. I'm not saying that
100%.
You want something like 20 points out of him.
I'm just going on the other side. So basically, if you take this Dick and Chalk Chase Brown, I'm going to give you a lineup right here. You guys can play it fucking wherever you want. Baker Mayfield, Kenneth Walker, Chase Brown, Mike Evans, George Pickens, Adam Thielen, Cade Otton, Jaguars defense, and you got 5,100 to put in the flex.
There you go.
That's easy, right? Like you were able to get that Tampa stack. Thielen cheapens it up. Yeah. And then Pickens and Walker are expensive, and I still got $5,000 for the flex. So I shouldn't have given that lineup. I should have just fucking played it. Now I can't play because everyone's gonna have. And if you want to get weird with Quentin Johnson and throw him to go nuts down there, he's 5,000. But Evan Ingram's 4,800. So you got a lot of opportunities there. You can double tight end that. But yeah, I think you get there easy with this. I love that both sides of this. Do we think this game goes over? Because it sounds like we all think this game's going over.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So I love the over on this game, 46.5. Especially that 47 is kind of a key number. I like the over on this. I think Tampa Bay gets there. I'm not a big Bryce Young guy. I'm not a big Carolina guy. I know none of us in here are. I hate Bryce Young. But at the same token, I am big on Adam Thielen this week. Adam Thielen's a guy who I loved last year. I love this year. Zab, I talked to you about it on Stay Cashin'. I picked him up in every single week, 3 weeks before he came back. Everyone forgets that for like a 5-week period last year, Jerry, Adam Thielen was like nut DFS play every week at 3,900, 4,000.
And that was with
Bryce Young, right? That's the short pass. That's exactly where Bryce Young lives. That's exactly where he should be thriving. So I think Thielen has like 8 for 70 this week. I really think he gets like 10 targets this week in this spot.
Yeah, and a lot of the ownership is going to David Moore just because of what he did last week, and he saw the field a lot more than Thielen did. But Thielen's just getting back. He's just getting back into it. They're missing guys. Coker's out now. Jatavian Sanders is out.
And you got Legette, who's got more hype, has had some more, has done pretty well, right?
I like Legette also, but
I'm all Thielen.
But I like Thielen, then Legette, then Moore.
Yeah. D-Rock, what were you saying on this? Who was your favorites in this one? D-Rock, you're on mute. I love drunk D-Rock.
He has no idea what's going on.
Sam goes, he has no idea what's going on. D-Rock's got 16 Busch Lights in his fucking hands. Just staring off into the sunset.
No, I like the side that Scarface is on, because if you go Bryce Young and then say you throw in Legette and Thielen, you can even come back with like Mike Evans, Cade Otton, get the full game stack, and you still got over 7,800 for an average salary remaining to fill out a running back, a wide receiver, and a defense there.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically the thing for me is whenever I'm playing quarterback, I want a guy that has a ceiling, right? I want a guy that can get 300 yards, and if he can't, I need him to be able to get 50 on the ground. So that's just me. Because if I'm stacking a quarterback, 300 yards allows me to get 2 receivers there. Baker can throw for
4,700. You don't need that.
100%. But here's the difference. So basically, you guys are going to, and it's fine. It seems like me and Zab are on the one side of it. You guys are on the other side. Neither side's wrong. They're both good because you guys are going to be able to get Justin Jefferson and guys like that, right? Me and Zab are going to have to hope the George Pickens and the Kenneth Walkers get there, right? So where you're spending 8,000, we're going to have to spend like 6,500. I'm actually more comfortable with that. I'd actually prefer to have Baker, Evans, Otten with Thielen and go Pickens rather than have Bryce Young, Thielen, Legette, get Evans on the bring back, and then have Justin Jefferson or someone like that, because I think guys like Pickens and that can do exactly what Justin Jefferson does.
I have a weird feeling we're going to get fucked here on the side of the Bucs, though. I have a feeling the Panthers are going to end up covering this game. Just because
that might not be the worst thing. That keeps Baker throwing. I mean, that's kind of what you want.
We all took Tampa Bay.
I'm gonna tell you the way that everyone's gonna get fucked. Bucky Irvin goes for $160.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna
everyone's
bet
saying-
Bucky touchdown to
right? Like Jerry,
Jerry,
where do you?
over 55.5 Evans?
Yeah,
love
Jerry,
Bucky.
where do you sit Bucky in all
Bucky-
this? Because it seems like we talked about
I
every
don't know if
player.
you guys watched. I don't know if you guys watched last week. Bucky got vultured every time at the goal line. He got them down there. They bring in Sean Tucker for a 1-yard touchdown.
So
They bring in
ridiculous, dude.
Rashad
Sean
White for a
Tucker.
1-yard.
Is there anyone in the
Bucky-
world who
and
likes
it's
Sean
funny 'cause
Tucker?
Last week I wrote up Bucky in my value report as he's going completely overlooked.
Mhm.
It's Bucky's backfield, man. These
Yeah.
now that they got Mike Evans back, they're going to be using Rashad White a lot less on passing downs. They don't need him because he was just an extension of the passing game. They're using him as a receiver, and
Right.
now that Mike Evans back healthy, it's like Bucky season, man. And
Yeah.
I think he's very underpriced.
Would you say it's his Buckfield?
It's his Buckfield.
That was good.
And it's
I mean,
this is,
I
by the way, the Panthers is the nut matchup for running backs. It's the absolute nut matchup.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we're all sitting here fucking stacking everything in the passing game. You know this is going to be Chuba,
I mean,
Chuba,
if-
Bucky,
if you're-
both
if
going
you're-
fucking
if you're
back
one
and
of
forth,
these
killing
cash
clock,
games,
bringing the
I told
total
you guys
under.
how I like building this game. It's with
Yeah.
Bucky and the Carolina. State.
Yes. All right. So you like Bucky as the bring back.
Yes.
All right. I don't hate that. All right. So that's actually two lineups to play right there. So now I like the differentiation. I didn't hear when you said that, Jerry. That I like. If you're doing Bucky with the bring back on the Tampa side,
And by the way,
going
this is
Carolina
just
side-
this is just an idea of
I don't think this is an idea. I think
way I
this
like
is
to build,
main
yeah.
lineup playable.
yeah. It's very playable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is crazy at all. I mean, you're looking at the totals on these games, Zab. I mean, we're looking at 47, 42, 44, 42, 47, 44, 44, 46. That's the whole slate. And you got 49 and 50 the last two, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you don't have a lot to worry about on this slate, right? Like, there's not going to be, like, fucking 4 or 5 games shooting out. So if you're sitting here on this Tampa game, which is right at 47, which is probably, like, the third highest on the slate, I got no problem stacking the shit out of this. I don't even think it's sneaky. I think this is a play that you could rock with if you have 1 to 3 lineups.
It's a way to build. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a totally safe, fine build, and it doesn't need to be like a Millie Maker type play.
I mean, honestly, I feel like you can do that though with this whole afternoon. Like, I think you can avoid a lot of the early if you want, because the games we're going to talk about after this are, I mean, they're
All the
just
bangers
as
are in the afternoon. Yeah,
Yeah.
this starts it. We
Good.
just spent 10 minutes
good
on this
in
one.
game.
Yeah, we'll go to we'll go
Let
to the
everybody
next.
else play the early shit.
Yeah, I mean, this is 4 o'clock's going to make or break your slate in DFS. Obviously, we already talked about the props there. From a touchdown perspective, guys, let's just give it for this Tampa game. We'll do it for each of the next games. Who's your favorite touchdown in this? Mike Evans is Zab, obviously. I'm actually going Kate Otten for a touchdown in this one, plus 210. I just like the value a little bit. Jerry, who's your favorite touchdown in that Tampa game?
Bucky.
Bucky. All right. And then D-Rock, who's your favorite touchdown in this game?
I'll go the long shot. Tommy Tremble,
Wow.
Plus 310.
400. Plus 400 on FanDuel.
backup tight end.
There you go.
I mean, not really a backup. I think he's pretty much a starter, but.
Yeah. Hey, listen. I like
But
it.
because
All right.
if a lot of people are going to start playing like the David Moores and shit, like we see this every week. The chalk, they're waiting. Carolina's in the red zone. 40% of fucking DraftKings and FanDuel is sitting on David Moore wanting that touchdown, and Tommy Tremble scores fucking touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think this next game is going to be an interesting one too that we're talking about here. We're finally getting to those 2 games that are sitting at a 50 total, basically.
Hey, what's the score of the USC game? Somebody just posted
7-7.
USC.
7-7.
I don't know why they're posting USC because Notre Dame's driving.
They posted that 10 minutes ago, boys.
Yeah, well, I mean, D-Rock's on a 10-minute Bush Light.
I was
delay,
going to
so
say.
that's the reason I don't start with D-Rock. I go to him last just to make sure I let him watch the games and handle it. Rams Saints 49.5 total on this one, Jerry.
Yeah, this is another game that I like to attack.
No.
And it's from the Rams side. I mean, I love Matthew Stafford here. Puka, Cooper Kupp, love them both. I'm not on Kyron Williams.
If you got to pick, where are you going?
If I have to pick between those two,
Puka and Cup.
Puka. Yeah, it's Puka's the guy who looks small.
Puka's the guy now. Yeah.
Puka's the guy. I mean,
What's
this
the
is one of the
ownership?
best
What's the
matchups
ownership
in the
like
league.
on those two? You're gonna be double on Puka.
What's that?
What's the ownership difference between those two right now?
Puka's more.
Well,
Yeah, Puka's obviously
Puka-
more. Is it
Puka for
double?
sure. Yeah, Puka's gonna be like double the not
Yeah,
double. He's gonna be like 22% or so.
Mhm.
Couple come in like 14, 15, something like that.
Okay.
You know?
Go.
Yeah, so I mean, New Orleans, they average, I mean, quarterbacks are averaging about 22.4 fantasy points a game against them. So I mean, Stafford, since getting Puka back and Cup back, he's averaging 280 yards passing a game with 2 touchdowns on top of it. I mean, it just makes so much sense to play them both. It's one of the best game environments inside the dome. The run backs are easy. You can run it back with Kamara. Taysom Hill's been a badass. MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He's
out of nowhere, huh?
He's got that. He's the Rashid Shaheed now. Now that Shaheed's out, that's a role in that offense, and they're using him in that role. He's got the speed. He's capable of big plays. So they're using him. I don't think it's fluky with him. I think they're going to be using him every game, whether it's one catch for 70 yards and a touchdown, or that he gets a few more looks besides that. But they're using him. I mean, he's like I said, he's the Rashid Shaheed of this offense now. So I like those guys.
All right, Sab, what do you like?
Yeah, I'm on the opposite side. I like Cooper Kupp. He's going to play in line on the slot, and the Saints are bringing in a journeyman to play their slot defense. They moved the
Saints have been getting. It's so funny how certain teams have been getting killed by the slot for 7 years.
Yeah,
right. Like the Saints, Detroit, the Saints, like all these teams get murdered in the slot, and it's been the same thing for 10 years.
Yeah, they brought in a journeyman after the Lattimore trade and everything else. The guy's name slipped my name. It's hard to pronounce, anyways.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, I think it's Cooper Kupp. He's going to play in line in the slot, and that's where you attack the Saints defense. So I'm big on Cooper Kupp this weekend. Nakua's going to get there.
I think you just like saying Cooper Kupp.
I do like saying Cooper Kupp. Nakua's going to get there because he always gets there. But yeah, I think it's pretty much a 2-man show in that team right now. And I like that. I like stacking it with Stafford, throwing both of those. I know it's super expensive, so I might run one each. But Kamara is averaging 126 yards per game with Carr under center. So I think Kamara is going to be another good look for, especially betting wise, hitting his rushing receiving prop, because with Carr there, they're going to be dumping the ball off. So yeah, I like Kamara and the 2 wide receivers, Stafford. So,
all right, I just text Constantino, Jerry. I said, Mike, where's our proof? No picture from Mike yet. And listen, I know this mother. He is not at a recital right now. There is no chance. Now, I know this. First of all, I've known him longer than anyone. I've studied him. I know him inside and fucking out. Mike's the person who doesn't want to go to the party, and he doesn't want to go to the party, so you don't even invite him to the party, and he's someone he doesn't know, and then he guilt trips you for a month for not inviting him to the party that he didn't want to go to anyway. Everyone has a friend like that, right? Like, bro, thanks for the invite. Like, bro, I invited you to 12 straight parties. You didn't want to go to any of them, and this one's an hour. Oh, you could invite me, right? He's lying. When Mike said he couldn't make the show at 3 o'clock, he said he had his daughter's dance recital that he was going to. Now, anyone who's watched me and Mike on air for the last 5 years knows he is an overprover like I am. And, right, Jerry, you know this just from the fucking roundtable. If there's an argument, if Mike gets something right, he's coming back 30 times to prove to you that he was right?
Yeah.
We do not have a picture of this recital yet. And he knows damn fucking well that we don't believe he's there.
Did you text him?
I just texted him on the thread with us.
Yeah.
He knows damn fucking well that I asked for proof. I said I wanted a picture. He sent a picture from an old recital. Remember? With him doing the weird. Let me post it. Fuck him. This is Mike. So this is what he sent us as proof. Look at this fucking thing. That's him on stage with his daughter. Oh, fucking loser. I love him. So he's lying right now. So I said what Mike's doing right now, because he didn't want to do the show this afternoon, is he's telling his wife he had a show to do at 4Deep, so he didn't have to go to the recital. And then he's telling us he has a recital to go to, so he didn't have to do the show. And he's in a backroom liquor store playing gin rummy with fucking 7 fucking 80-year-old mafia guys right now for money. That's what's happening right now. And I told him I want a picture from the recital with his watch in the picture to show me what time it is filming the recital. And we have nothing. So everyone attack Constantino in the Discord the next time you see him in there, unless we get a picture of him at this recital. D-Rock, on you. What do you like in the Rams Saints?
It's all the same stuff. It's Kamara. It's tight. I really like Taysom Hill here at 5K. I mean, the guy just does everything. And then for me, it's Puka. I like him on the opposite. As
you were too drunk to say Nakua there, weren't you?
I was going to try it, but
you were like, you're going to try it, and you were like, Nakua Puka.
And I really want to play Kyron here, but like Saints defense is horrible for rushing, but with cutback, once again, I think no targets the last 2 weeks for Kyron since Cup has come back. So that's the only worry with Kyron.
Yeah, I don't think you can right now. I think if you're playing Kyron, you got to go Kyron touchdown betting. I don't think this is a spot right now. The way that they're throwing the ball and the Saints are actually decent against the run sometimes, right? Like they're the type of team that you look at the Saints and they're going to either give up 200 or 60, right? You go through their game logs, they either get gashed or they don't. Depends on what fucking day.
Yeah, I don't even hate Carr here.
Yeah,
honestly.
I don't think you need to pay up for Carr.
MBS.
What's up?
I don't even hate Carr here with Kamara. Like, could do a run back with Elvin and MBS, and then run it back with Puka.
Yeah, I think it's aerial attack for both sides. For me,
I don't hate that. I mean,
Kamara's a guy I never play. I just can't get there, especially with Chase Brown being basically what Kamara was, Jerry. Right? Like I can go to Chase Brown even though he's chalky at 6,200 or whatever.
I hate playing Kamara chalk.
I never play Kamara.
Yeah.
Ever. It never works out for me.
Jerry, I don't think me and you have fought about this on shows before. I am team never Kamara. Never. Because I need a running back that can go for $150. He catches 9 balls for 30 yards. Right? Like it drives you insane.
I'm not saying don't play him this week.
I'm saying don't play him this week.
He's a great play this week. He's going to come in with a lot of ownership. It's a great spot for him.
If you want a sleeper at 4K, DeMarcus Robinson. He caught another touchdown last week, and that was with Cup playing and Puka.
By the way, he got into a DUI this week. Did you check? Yeah. Are they going to let him play?
I don't think he got suspended or anything.
He didn't get suspended, but
Sean McVay ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, it's not going to affect his play style.
Sean McVay, you're going to have to send that motherfucker to jail for Sean McVay to not play him.
Right, but double check on that before you guys.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I don't really love that there, but I mean, at the same token, I think to play a Stafford here, right? Like at the 5,800, this price, you're probably looking at a 300-yard game. You're probably looking at a 260 floor, right, for Stafford in this spot at 5,800.
I love Stafford.
That's why when people start talking about like the Bryce Young and stuff like that, not to go back to it, like for an $800, $900 more, for $1,000 more, I can go get Matt Stafford, who I can get 350 and 4 out of. Like that, I know people don't play him ever, right, Jared, because of the rushing. Like people don't like playing quarterbacks that don't run the ball at all. So I feel like Stafford's always like no owned.
Stafford never gets
zoned. And this is
even in his ceiling games, he never gets you there. Even when he throws for 4 touchdowns, right. Like his last game against New England, he threw for 4 touchdowns. He didn't hit 300 yards. As a matter of fact, I don't think he's hit 300 yards all year.
Right, 295.
He hasn't had one.
Let's relax there because 3 of the last 4. 295, 293, 298.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like
we're right there.
He hasn't got there. But dude, I'm not saying he's not going to get there this week.
Right? Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I'm telling you why people don't play him.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, and realistically, the thing about he's a great cash game quarterback in my opinion. A lot of times, right? Because he's not going to flop, right? Like he's going to throw for 270. He's going to throw for a couple touchdowns. My favorite way to play him is actually not to play him in DFS as much, but play his 2 touchdowns. The other thing in DFS in a week like this. You know exactly who you're pairing him with, right? Like more than any other quarterback in the entire NFL. You know exactly which 2 guys are going to get 90% of the target.
It's very easy to pair him. So you pair him with either Puka or Cup or both.
Right, both. You just play both, right? You just go Stafford, Puka, Cup, and then bring it back with a Kamara or something.
It's very easy to play both of them.
Yeah, and bring it back with an MBS, bring it back whatever you want. So
I don't think a lot of people are going to do that though. I think you can be different.
No one ever does. No one ever plays
Stafford. Not going to pair both of them
because there was a slate 2 weeks ago when they played against New England. And a lot of winners on DraftKings had Stafford, Puka, and Cooper Cup together. Mm-hmm. So people saw that. People see how people.
Right, they see what other people did to win, and then they do the same thing.
You can easily on FanDuel, it's impossible. Cooper Cup's $9K,
right?
And Puka's $8,700. It's impossible. On DraftKings, it's very doable. I mean, you can just go build a.
You can pretty much do whatever you want on DraftKings this week.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, look, I just took that same exact team, right? So I took that same exact team we did with Baker Mayfield that I just told you about. Yeah. Stafford, Kenneth Walker, Chase Brown, Puka Nacua, Cooper Cup. Who is that, Zab? What's his name?
Cooper Cup.
Cooper Cup. So Stafford, Walker, Brown, Puka, Koopa, Thielen, Otten, Jaguars. You still got 4,400 at the flex, right? So like you could comfortably, and that's probably an MVS range, right? What's MVS?
MVS is
45, right? So you might need to float. Maybe you don't need Kate Otten in this one, obviously. You could actually go Zach Ertz in here, as we were just talking about before, and then really free up a lot of space at flex. Yeah, so you're back to that 5,100 flex if you go Zach Ertz instead of Kate Otten because you don't need Otten. Otten was in the stack with Mayfield. But you can get anything you want this week.
I'm
really
telling you, when we talked about earlier at the beginning of the show, this is a fun week because there's a lot of offense. There's a lot of ways to attack the slate. Like, you get really, really different and get creative. I
think I'm going to play as I'm doing this. I'm building lineups and screenshotting.
This is one of the more fun slates.
I think I'm going to have to get involved this week. Is there a queue this week or anything? Anything retarded I could do?
Is there what?
Is there a qualifier that done? When did the queues stop?
Oh, are you talking about the queues? No, it's still available.
All right, cool. All right, I'm going to get involved. I'm going to get some action. I'm going to give you a plus 500 parlay for those of you out there. Joe Burrow over 1.5 passing touchdowns. CJ Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Matthew Stafford over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Plus 508 in that one if you would like to get involved. Zab, I see you nodding, so I'm assuming you like it too.
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. Let's go to the last game. Zab, we'll start with you. Baltimore Ravens, Philadelphia Eagles, 4:25 kickoff. This is probably going to be the most exciting game for fans. A lot of people are saying the Super Bowl preview. I don't think either of these fucking teams get to the Super Bowl because I think both their quarterbacks suck. But everyone loves Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. I think they're fine regular season quarterbacks. I don't think they're winning shit in the playoffs, so I have no interest. But Zab, talk to me about where we're looking from an injury perspective. I think Devonta Smith is pretty much the only one I remember being questionable. Is he playing? And what else we got going on here? What do you like?
He's questionable. I think he ends up playing, though. Eagles side of the ball, I love Hurts this weekend. I think he's in a great matchup. We've been attacking this Baltimore defense every single week. They play a ton of man coverage, which lines up for A.J. Brown. He's going to absolutely eat in this matchup. A.J. Brown's next to Mike Evans, one of my favorite wide receivers on the board.
That's definitely D-Rock, right?
That's definitely D-Rock.
Has to be D-Rock. He walks away. I got it. Actually,
I love D-Rock.
Oh man,
I muted him.
But yeah, I love a Hurts.
When you make a play we all like, we'll just play
the tune. He's gonna come running back in camera any second.
Who the fuck has that ringtone? How long is this thing going?
He's got the ribs on the barbecue. That's why you have to go check him.
What is this? Oh, it's an alarm? Oh, that's an alarm. I'm like,
that's the timer on the Traeger telling him the ribs are done.
All right, good. So we'll see how your plays go, Zab. We'll let you know if we like it or not. You'll hear that sound. Go on.
All right. So we already said A.J. Brown. Barkley, he's just been absolutely eating the last couple of weeks. But this Baltimore defense is tough against the run. So I probably won't get there. I would probably just lean the Hurts and A.J. Brown. With Barkley getting shut down on the run, I think Hurts is going to have to run a little bit more in this matchup. He typically likes to run in these bigger matchups. So Baltimore side, Lamar is going to run a ton. I think Derrick Henry kind of gets game scripted out if you do start to see a lead by the Eagles. You have seen that in the past where when they've been tight, closely contested, or they're down, they kind of just phase out and go right to Hill and just start passing the ball off to him and having him stay in for pass blocking. So Zay Flowers is a tough matchup against Quinyon Mitchell. They're going to game script him in, just getting him involved. But last couple of weeks, he's been shut down. So I think Lamar's going to run. I doubt I get there. I'd probably play Hurts and A.J. Brown over touching this Baltimore side of the team. So
yeah. I don't hate that. I mean, we're looking at I know a lot of people are going to kill me. Tommy, did you just say Hurts and Lamar Jackson suck? Yes, I did. They're great regular season quarterbacks. I think they're phenomenal, and they're going to win you games. I don't give a shit about that. I'm on Mahomes, Joe Burrow, guys like that. You want to talk about elite. These two are not elite. They're elite talents. They're elite athletes. Win something in the fucking playoffs. Stop throwing for 165 fucking yards in the first round of the playoffs and get knocked out. Jalen Hurts is a product of fucking 67 tush pushes throughout his fucking career. The kid threw 15 picks last year, and then everyone said he's got to stop throwing interceptions, and he did. He's only got 5 this year. He's also only got 13 touchdowns. So now he's playing scared. I don't love either of them. I like them as regular season quarterbacks. Would never start my team with them. I think they guarantee you no Super Bowl wins. Save this video. Save this click. Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson will never win a Super Bowl, ever, and neither of them will get there this year. And if I'm wrong, you're going to get to light me the fuck up on Twitter, so save that. Go on, Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is going to be a fun game to watch, obviously. And, like, at first glance, oh, my God, there's a lot of good fantasy goodness here. You're not going to get a lot of ownership on any of these guys, and it's just pretty much based on the way they're priced. All these guys are priced up. It's almost impossible to stack this game. You kind of have to just pick, a couple one-offs. If you want to play a Derrick Henry, that's cool. If you want to play a Saquon, that's cool. If you want to play an AJ, that's cool. I mean, but it's really, really hard to get to them just based on the way they're priced. So, I mean, most of the pieces from this game are going to be pretty contrarian. So just keep that in mind when you're playing. I mean, it's hard to build a Jalen Hurts to AJ Brown stack. It's hard to build Lamar with Zay. Maybe a little bit easier on FanDuel, but I don't know. It's kind of tough on DraftKings. So,
even if you want Barkley with Hurts, you can't do it. It's too expensive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just the way everybody's priced here, everybody in this game is going to come in low owned.
Do you think you need Jalen Hurts with AJ Brown? Like, I'm playing AJ Brown naked on this. Like, Jalen Hurts ain't throwing for 300. Like, just give me AJ Brown.
I'm just telling you that even if you wanted it, you couldn't get it. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, for me, like, I'm just going AJ Brown naked. I think AJ Brown is the spot here. Obviously, this is we're looking at Devonta being banged up, probably going to play. But this is an AJ Brown eat game, right? Like he's a physical player. He's a fucking absolute fucking head case psychopath. He needs the ball all the time. Going against the Ravens, this is a game he's jacked up for. Basically, the featured game at 4:00. AJ Brown's going to eat in this spot. You got a team that's very susceptible in the back end of their pass defense. We saw what Jamar Chase and other people have done to him. He's only scored 1 touchdown, I think, in the last 6 weeks. AJ Brown nuke, and I don't think you need to pair him with anyone.
Who are you going then with? Are you going AJ Brown or are you going Justin Jefferson?
Well, I honestly, if I'm playing DFS, I'm looking mostly prop perspective, right? So I'm going to be going AJ Brown 100 and a touchdown, Justin Jefferson 100 and a touchdown. So that's the way I'm going to be playing it. From a DFS perspective, I'd probably prefer AJ Brown, honestly, even though we just talked about the Jefferson nuke. I just think it's safer, right? Because we've seen Justin Jefferson.
You're getting Jefferson $200 cheaper.
Yeah, I don't know. I can make that $200 up with a defense or a tight end. I can go Zach Ertz instead of Kate Otten. I could always find a couple $100. I honestly think the play. How owned is AJ Brown going to be, Jared? Can't be that owned, right?
Less than 10%.
Oh, yeah, everybody here is going to be under 10%. Everybody.
Yeah, they ain't nobody going to go to this game.
I mean, dude, that's interesting.
I mean, I'm looking at maybe. I mean, just depends. What's Devontae Smith? Is he out for sure?
So you're telling me now, and you're going to make me play like 10 lineups now.
If Devontae Smith gets ruled out, you're going to see some ownership on Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
It might bump AJ Brown's ownership up a little bit. As of now, he's like 8% or something like that.
Maybe Dotson gets some ownership too. If Devontae's
out. Dotson, no. He'll never get
so? Not that price tag?
Zero.
Yeah, he won't be there. So, I mean, dude, this is insane. I mean, this is just begging me to play as much money as I can this weekend.
Zay Flowers does get some ownership.
So you're telling me right now, Jerry, I'm just talking. For those of you that don't know, I don't play DFS now. I was the first person ever to qualify for 4 straight live finals and had 37 of them. But I'm kind of getting the itch to come back here. You're telling me right now that I can go in and stack the highest total on the board by far that's also going to be played at 4:00 and have all my players at under 10% owned?
Probably.
I mean, I could do right now if you just sit in here.
You're going to have some sloppy madness, though, to stack it.
But so here's the thing.
I mean,
I don't think you do, dude. I'm looking at it right now. Like, this would be the team.
Who are you looking at? Who are you looking at?
All right, so here's what it is, Jerry. This is the team to go with your Bryce Young play, right? This is the team where you go. I can go right now. Bryce Young at 4,700 with Chase Brown, Saquon Barkley. Actually, you know what? Let me put Henry in here. Henry. I'm going to take Jefferson out. All right. So I can go. I wouldn't do this with Bryce. I hate Bryce Young, so I'm not. But let's say Jerry's a superstar.
There's other options if you don't like Bryce Young. You could use Anthony Richardson.
There's other guys right there. Let's use Anthony Richardson. I feel more comfortable with that. So I'm going to build a team here. So go on, Zab. What were you going to say while I build this?
I just built a team. Bryce Young, Chase Brown. I got one running back spot open. AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Justin Jefferson, Zach Ertz, Thielen, and Jags defense.
You only got AJ Brown there.
But I'm still jamming in like all these big wide receivers that we all expect to go off. So you could just basically do whatever you want this slate.
Which is
literally you can get there any way you want. So here, right. So if you want to go with the MVS play that we were talking about before, I'd actually prefer to go up a little bit here and then just straight punt a 3K wide receiver. But you can go Anthony Richardson, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown. That's all I need for the stack right? I don't need to go get Zay Flowers and fucking
I don't
Devontae
hate.
Smith.
I don't hate.
I don't
Mark
need a
Andrews.
quarterback. I don't need Lamar. I don't need any of that shit because I'm playing both running backs and A.J. Brown, which are the explosions. I got plenty of money here. I play Thielen at wide receiver. I play Ertz at tight end, and I play the Jaguars defense. We talked about liking all those plays, all of us, right?
Yep.
We all think Ertz is underpriced. We all think Thielen's going to get 6, 7, 8 catches this week with Bryce Young, and we all said the Jaguars are a punt D. I got $4,500 for 2 more positions, a wide receiver and a flex. I could either go $3,000 and punt a $3,800 guy with a $6,000 player, or go 2 $4,500 players like MVS. Easy, get that. Easy.
I do like Mark Andrews' prop this week. I am betting that his receiving prop's only 32.5.
Mark Andrews is 3,900 too. If you think if you want another piece of that game, I'm not saying I'm going there.
Yeah, honestly, that may be a good way to do it, right? Instead of going Zach Ertz, go Mark Andrews. It fits the stack better.
Free up even more money. But
Yeah,
I like
I don't hate
his
that.
prop at 32.5.
I think Mark Andrews has to be turning a corner here, right? Obviously, at the beginning of the year, he was absolutely invisible. We've seen him. He's kind of every other week right now, right?
Yeah.
Like he'll pop for 15, and everyone will think he's back, and then he'll throw up a 2, and then he'll go for 8. Let me see. Hold on. Literally exactly that. 15 last week, 4 the week before, 18.8, 4.6 the week before, 14, 20, 15, 9, 0, 0, right? So he's very inconsistent, but yeah, if you're going to stack this game, yeah, definitely throw Andrews in there. Dude, Jerry, you're right. This is a fun slate.
This is a fun slate. I'm telling you.
really
There's a million ways to go.
If you have a team, Jerry, Anthony Richardson is obviously going to be fairly popular, right?
Right.
But at 5,500. But you go Anthony Richardson, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, and Mark Andrews. You're literally sitting at 430. If you get anything out of Thielen and Anthony Richardson, you're sitting there fucking licking your chops, knowing you're the only one in that fucking high-stakes tournament with all those guys sitting in your lineup.
I mean, almost nobody is going to be playing.
Nobody's going to have all that.
No, I'm saying nobody's going to have Barkley and Henry in the same lineup.
With A.J. Brown.
Yeah, zero.
I mean, like you're literally watching.
The Millie Maker, you're not going to see
You
that.
could be looking at 120 points out of just those 3 guys, right? Like all those guys have 40-point ceilings, 50-point ceiling. Like you have the 3 highest ceilings maybe on the board in one game. So
I mean,
it's a fun lineup if nothing else,
fun.
right?
It's
It's a
fun.
fun lineup. I think that's a lineup. I think you'll see some like people will take that lineup, Jerry, and put it in a milli maker. When I was making all my money in DFS, people will take that lineup, put it in a milli maker. I think that's a lineup you put in a 3-entry max because you're the only fucking person with it. You go in the milli maker and the 150 lineup guys are going to have variations of that somewhere, right? They're going to have it. You put that in a 3-entry max, even if it's a smaller dollar amount than you normally play. If you play $50 normally, go in a $5 3-entry max, $10. But play these lineups in single and 3-entry max lineups. That's how I made all my fucking money back in the day because I was the only one doing it.
There's no going in. Your lineup is either going to finish in first.
100%. 100%. But that's how you win, right? Like these tournaments are only paying the top 5th, right? So you got to be, and basically, really, it's the top 10th. You look at top 10%, the only ones making real money. So who gives a fuck, you know? That's how I would make all my money in the Thunderdome back in the day. You know, just be willing to come in last.
It was the slate 2 weeks ago when the Jaguars played the Lions. There was a guy that finished in like 2nd or 3rd. Okay, he had Goff, he had Montgomery, he had Gibbs, he had Jameson Williams, he had Amon-Ra St. Brown, Lions defense, and Brock Wright, and they all went off.
Right, and that's it. You just need a couple of those, right? Like,
I mean, it's very rare you see shit like that, but
let me put it this way, Jerry.
It does happen.
Jerry, here's how this works, okay? At the end of every week, everyone's going to look at this lineup, right? No one is going to play this lineup. Like, this is what I would play in a Thunderdome. This is what I would play in a $1,000, $5,000 tournament when I was playing heavy. Anthony Richardson, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Valdez-Scantling, Adam Thielen, Mark Andrews, Noah Brown, Jaguars. Name a bad play in that lineup.
I'm telling you.
There's not, right?
There's
no. We talked about all, but here's what happens.
It's not about who you're playing, right? It's about who are you not playing.
100%.
You need those guys to bust, right?
100%. But here's what I'm saying.
You can't have Chase Brown getting the same exact points as Derrick Henry.
100%. Yes, definitely. Definitely. But what I'm saying is at the end of the week, Jared,
you need shit to happen. But if
this lineup wins,
yeah,
everyone's going to look at it and go, why didn't I have that? Right? Like, why didn't I have 4 guys who could score 60 with the clear punts? But that's who wins the tournaments.
Yeah,
because if Chase Brown goes off,
when you're building your lineups, ask yourself, like what
is anyone else going to have this?
Not just if anybody else going to have that. Like, what do I need outside of this to happen for this to work, right? You need Chase Brown to bust. You need Kamara to bust.
I don't think you need Chase Brown to bust.
Not bust, but I mean,
You just need him to score 18, 20.
When you're playing Henry and Saquon together, when you're paying those prices, they both need ceiling games. If they don't ceiling, you're not
right. That's the thing. You need and that's what you're doing. The reason why you stack, and what Jerry's saying is right. The reason you stack a game like this, if you're playing Henry Barkley, is because you need this game to end 40-37. Right? Like you're gonna need ceilings.
You need Barkley to.
You're gonna need Barkley to break an 80-yarder.
But
if that happens, you break the internet because no one else has it. So yes, I agree with you. This isn't the safe play in that perspective
whatsoever.
But at the same token,
can pay off.
right? It's fun. Like this is a fun, and I don't give a fuck in these games because these are the games where every single motherfucker's on Chase Brown. He's 100% owned, and all of a sudden Chase Brown fucking turns his ankle in the first quarter, and you win, right? Like or Chase Brown gets 4 catches for 25 yards and 20 carries for 80 yards and no touchdown.
Let's say Chase Brown to bust. Like, how's he busting? Is it because Chase is getting
11,
there?
11, 12?
Higgins is getting there. Like somebody's taking away from Chase for him to bust.
He just doesn't get a touchdown, right?
And if he busts, the people in his price range have to bust.
But here's the Jerry, his season high in receiving yards is 57.
Who's that?
Like we're not Chase Brown. Like he could easily that you can't run on the Steelers very well, right? Like you don't think this is so. I mean, if I tell you that here's what I'm looking for Chase Brown. I'm looking for Chase Brown to have 17 carries for 52 yards and no touchdowns, and 5 catches for 40 yards and no touchdowns. That's a normal, fine game. He averages 4 catches a game.
You're right. Now,
and Derrick Henry goes for fucking 180 and 2.
Don't forget, there's other guy, Kamara. You need Kamara to bust.
Kamara sucks.
Kamara
scores 17. Kamara's going to score 40 1 week, and he scores 16 every other week.
I'm just saying. When you think about, I'm talking to the people watching. I know Tommy will do what Tommy does.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
If you are building like that, just know what needs to happen or that to happen.
Okay. Let me give you the counter approach here. Saquon and Henry just have Saquon is averaging 40 fucking fantasy points a game over the last 4 weeks, right? So you get Saquon in there, let's say fucking Chase Brown goes for 28. Which I think is his high on the year. Saquon can double him, right? Saquon's dropping 50 burgers.
I'm saying
and no one's going to have him.
Combination of Saquon and Henry. That's what I'm talking about.
100%. But is Henry going to bust against the Eagles?
That's no brainer.
If Henry busts, what is he, 17?
If Henry busts?
Yeah, 17, 18? Like, what's he going to bust with?
If he gets 18 points, you're dead.
And Noah Brown's what? His ceiling, like, what's his high for the year? 28? Like, what am I really losing there? But Chase Brown isn't getting to 40. Like, I have 3 guys who could all get to 40 points, 45. But realistically, we've all done it multiple times this year. That's the reason why I like it. But anyway, Jerry's right. That's a safer play not to do this. I'm literally now just playing this lineup. That's what I'm doing.
Tommy.
I'm going all in. Going all in. And I got to scale up because the lower stakes players are going to play.
Now that you talked about it,
I'm pot committed now to play this lineup. So I'm going in and I'm playing this lineup. Is it different on FanDuel, Barkley and Henry, or is it better on DraftKings? Probably can't even get to it on FanDuel, right?
All right.
You got to play it on DraftKings.
All right, guys. I got to hop off.
We're done here anyway. It's over. All right, Zab, final words.
Mike Evans.
Zab made a mistake before the show. Jerry is saying no hard stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know how long we can fucking go. Me and Jerry start going at it. This shit could go till tomorrow. But all right, Zab, final words?
Mike Evans. Let's go. Favorite play.
Go. Do it. D-Rock, we appreciate you making it through the show. Did you have a play on this game? Did you have anything you love? Zab, you can go. Get out of here.
No.
Go. You're good, dude. You're fine.
We already talked about it. Like, I get it if you're going to do all these expensive pieces and stuff and the Millie Maker and whatnot, but to me, it's just one-offs. Oh, and I'm gonna play a lineup now though, where my game set is just because we talked about it.
We're all stacking it. Anyone, there's 2,000 people who are playing this game stack now at least. So let's go. Final words, D-Rock.
Fuck OSU. Let's have a fun night.
Atta boy. Jerry the God Scarface. Final words.
Good luck this week. I mean, I think we covered a lot of shit on here. I think get creative, have fun. Make some money.
Zab's text. Did you see Zab's text from 2 minutes ago? I gotta hop off. We've been at this for 2 hours. Poor Zab. He's done shows Thursday
I
morning.
gotta go get my
Friday night.
ribs off the smoker.
Oh, we know. We heard your alarm before. It was adorable.
You gotta send us a pic. I gotta see what those ribs turn out. How they
I'll send you a picture.
yeah.
Hey,
send me
get
a
up in
picture.
those ribs. Get up in those ribs. All right, 4. The great Zabowski, the masterful, monstrous Jerry Scarface Dergali, who is all over Twitter. Make sure you give him a follow. Why don't you change it to @Scarface something, Jerry? I always go to search Scarface.
I'm not gonna
Your
change
Twitter's
it.
what? Yeah, you just like your regular name.
It's my name.
I know. I like Scarface better.
I
think
know.
you should go to that Scarface. All right. And then @DRockDFS, go give him a follow over there on Twitter. Appreciate you guys for coming on. This is a last-minute show. Constantino lied and said he was at a recital. We still don't have a picture, so blow him up. Make sure you blow Bill Rupp up, who's probably getting killed by Ohio State fans.
You see the comments? There's like 100.
No, I haven't had a chance to look. Some of us have been hosting a fucking show here while you've been staring out cooking ribs.
Waving that
Dude,
Michigan flag over his comment.
D-Rock, you're the best. Let's just give you an update. Bill Rupp is up to 50,000 views and 147 comments. The first one I see is even Mad Lab is commenting on it. Everyone coming on board to get a part of Bill Rupp. Bill Rupp has steam on Twitter, Jerry. When does this ever happen? I'm going to go ride this
I'm
steam,
gonna go
too.
check it out right now.
I'm going to go jump in and fucking ride Bill Rupp's steam on Twitter. So Bill Rupp's about to break a record for tweets. So go harass Bill Rupp. Tell him he sucks. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. We will be there all weekend. Get over to 4Deep right now. Black Friday sale still going on all weekend. 66% off, guys. You can get the 5-month package for $300. We charge $40 a fucking week. This is $60 a month. 5 months for $300. Go to 4deep.com. Click the link in my bio Tommy G Wins again. Come join us in the chat. We'll be doing live voice chats. We do 12 and 24-hour voice chats in our Discord. We're not just here on YouTube. But if you're a freeloader and you're too fucking cheap to sign up with us, we'll be back Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern, to recap the games on my Twitter and on YouTube. Good luck. Stay cashing, motherfuckers. See, I have to do this thing, and then I have to go hit the end button.
And there's
It
no
kinda
mic to be like, let's go.
It ruins my ending, so let me try it again. Good luck. Stay cashing, motherfuckers. Let's go! Done. All right, see?